Good evening and welcome to the iconic Watertown Stadium for the 2023 homecoming game between the Sioux Falls, Washington Warriors and the Watertown Arrows. I am Sam Mooney, and with me in the booth, as always, brought to you by Dakota Land Federal Credit Union, is the handsome Tyson Zemlicka, not to be confused with your handsome twin brother Taylor. Tyson, here we are, homecoming, and joined by a B right away at the beginning, so that's a good start. Homecoming 2023, you have played in many homecoming games yourself. How different is homecoming for these Arrows versus week 2, week 6?
It's really the biggest thing is the distraction. You know, you got a lot going on during the week. You got all these other things going on. You got these vans that are just pulling around here to get all decked out. The coordinations, all those things, homecoming kinks, things like that. So really, for the players, it's a distraction. I'm sure there's a dance or something going on after tonight.
Sure.
Your coach always just tries to remind you, stay locked in, be focused on Washington, watch film, do your job, execute, stuff like that. So that's really the toughest thing in terms of that. But then on the other side of things, you got Sioux Falls, Washington coming in here tonight, and they're a very good football team. So that presents as much of a challenge as anything, but just staying locked in on homecoming night because the distractions are real for 16, 17, and 18-year-old boys.
So before we start talking about the 1 and 2 Sioux Falls Washington Warriors, let's talk about the Watertown Arrows a little bit. So right now, coming into this game, your Arrows are 2-1. They're averaging 28 points a game, just over 28 points a game. They're allowing just under 15 points a game. They have a 2-1 record, wins against Brookings, wins against Huron. They fell off a little bit last week against a tough Yankton team. And now they bounce back in a game that's against a AAA Sioux Falls, Washington team. So you're Watertown, you got homecoming, the stands, there's a lot of people here today. But let's forget about homecoming. Let's forget about the many people that are here. Let's forget about the pomp and circumstance. Let's talk about football. How does the 2-1 AA Watertown Arrows attack the 1 and 2 AAA Sioux Falls Washington Warriors?
Well, I think from watching film all week, this is probably one of the most well-rounded teams Watertown's going to face all year. But I also think they play a lot into Watertown's strengths. They do a lot of that zone read right up the middle. Watertown's strength has been their offensive line, their front seven, their running backs, all that. Everything up in the box where Watertown's been good all year. I think they're going to be just fine. I think it's actually like I said, one of their better matchups. For Watertown, I'm really excited to see number 5 Simon Hendricks. Looks like he's going to play tonight, and he brought the juice week 1 when we were here. I more than anything expect him to really be a big contributor tonight, and I'm excited to see him play after a few weeks off.
So last week we talked about Simon Hendricks a little bit. I visited with Coach Hodorf before the game. Coach Hodorf told me on Simon Hendricks that he was very, very questionable. This week I talked to Coach Hodorf before the game, and he tells me that Simon is going to play rotationally. So we'll see that leader back in the defense, and that's going to help a lot. So going back to the matchup between Watertown and Sioux Falls, Washington, what I saw on film from Sioux Falls, Washington was a lot of the read option, the dives right in the middle into the heart of that defense.
Right.
And in the heart of that defense, talk about those two big guys on the defensive line, Micah Hawk and Jaden Lambert.
Those guys have been good all year. Like I said, and as good as D-line's been, the linebackers have been just as good as a front seven. They have been fantastic to watch. Whether it's the quick passing game that we're going to see from Washington tonight, or just all the shotgun zone reads that they do right up the middle, I really think Washington's going to have to change their game plan tonight, because whether it's been Brookings that we watched or Yankton here, both teams have either totally gone away from it or lost because they would not change their game plan and just continue to run at that front seven. Watertown's front seven, I have no doubt, is going to be strong tonight. So last week when everything didn't go well, Yankton started to pass the ball around a lot more. Watertown's secondary is not going to be challenged the same way tonight. Washington's quarterback isn't as gifted of a passer as Yankton has a quarterback. Not many people are in the state. But yeah, to go back to your original point, Watertown's front seven is going to be up for the challenge tonight, and I expect him to deliver.
I think we can both agree that the strength of the Watertown defense, and you highlighted a little bit, the strength of the Watertown defense is that front seven. So they play a traditional 3-4 defense, 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers, and like we talked about, right in the middle of that is Micah Hawk. Talk to me about the 6'5", 275-pound nose guard, junior.
I've been delightfully surprised watching him play football. He's a big man. He's only played a few games in his whole career, so it's hard to expect a lot right off the bat. But then you put him in there at fullback last week as well.
Yeah.
Whether he's on offense or defense, he's making a huge impact for these Arrows. He's clogging up the middle, or he's bursting holes for Mr. Juvin. So if you'd have told me a month ago he hasn't played before, I'd just say, well, you're not going to get much out of this guy this year. He's a junior. Let's see how he can grow and develop and see what he can do next year. And it's been the opposite. He's been a contributor from really day one, and he's getting better every week, and he's going to be big again tonight.
So going back to that formidable run defense, last week we saw the Arrows front seven really do a good job of containing Yankton and not allowing a lot of runs or a lot of yardage on the ground. But what we saw was 52 pass attempts by Lucas Kampshoff. We saw almost 400 yards, and we saw three passing touchdowns. So with what you'll see from Washington tonight is they're going to run the run option, and so they're going to stick it in the gut of the halfback, and then the quarterback's either going to pull back or he's going to hand it off. And when he pulls back, there's a lot of dink and dunk over the middle with this team, but there's also big shots down the sideline. What does Watertown have to do to learn from what happened last week against Yankton to make sure that doesn't happen this week against Sioux Falls?
Well, first off, the arm talent isn't just there by Washington's quarterback, but like I said, most quarterbacks in the state. So just knowing that that's not going to happen every week, you still got to stay within the game plan. You don't have to do too much here. That quick passing game is not something that we see a lot of in high school football right now. Washington has a good offensive line, but it's like you said, they just get it out so quick. And then once or twice a game, they take those long shots. They try to lull you to sleep all game by just the dive, the slants, the quick outs, all those things. But if Watertown just stays within themselves, the front seven does what they do, the back end does what they've done virtually all season, they're going to be fine. But that quarterback for Washington, he just does so many things differently than what we saw last week. That was really an outlier to what we've seen the Arrows do. Their defense has been fantastic the whole season, so I'm excited to see the challenge here, but Washington's not going to give you that type of threat offensively. They don't have a real standout guy, in my opinion, that just carries the load like Yankton has.
Yeah, when you watch Washington on film, there's not one individual superstar that pops off. But what you do notice from Washington is the depth.
Yes.
There is a lot of young men on this football team, and there's a lot of young men on this football team that will contribute.
Right.
So how does Watertown match that depth? Because that's tough to do.
You know, that's something that Watertown's maybe had a concern with the last couple of years, and it is going to be hard to match the Sioux Falls schools on pure depth. What you always got to keep in mind is at the start of every play, it's 11 on 11. It doesn't matter who they send out there. If you're a little bit more tired than the other guy, you give it your all. If you need a win, you just switch out. But you know, for Sioux Falls, Washington in particular, when I watch film, granted it's hard to see all their numbers specifically on that film, but like you said, they are turning out a lot of guys on offense, on defense, on special teams. They're always different guys, and that is tough for a Watertown Arrow team to keep up with when they play 16 guys.
And what that does is when they're rotating guys out like that, is they're fresh. They're not as fatigued. They're not as lethargic. So when you can have the most talented person in the world, but fatigue is huge.
Right. You'd love to say at this point in the season, the Arrows are really getting in that condition form where they can say, hey, whether you throw us out there for 40 plays or 80 plays, we are in good enough shape to be out there the whole time. But it's still, that doesn't make up for a kid that's coming in that hasn't played in 10 or 15 minutes when he's got fresh legs. So that's always an obstacle to overcome, but you don't look for any excuses at this point for the Arrows. They're ready. They have a 16, 18 person really team that they rotate with. So they're going to be fine. But like you said, that's always a struggle with some of those Sioux Falls teams that have a little bit fewer players on their roster.
Yeah, I did spend some time pregame talking to Coach Ryan Evans of the Sioux Falls Washington Warriors, and I asked him that question on the opposite end. When him and his staff are watching film, who pops off to him? And immediately he went to Jubin, but he gave Micah Hawk a lot of love, and then he also talked about the fantastic rotation of the linebackers that the Arrows have. We've highlighted them a lot, and you know, we talk about Simon a lot, we talk about Austin Johnson a lot, we talk about number 22 Spencer Wenches a lot, but you just talked about, or we just both talked about fatigue. You talked about Washington having a lot of depth. And then one thing that you talked about that I really want to highlight here specifically with Simon Hendricks is you talked about being in game condition. Simon really hasn't played now in 2 weeks. How big of a difference is that going to make? Is he in game condition?
You know, sometimes motivation is a crazy thing, and team morale is just as wild. His teammates know he's out there, even whether it's 2 plays, 20 plays, all 60 plays on defense. When your teammates know that you're going to be there and have their back, you just kind of get everybody going around you. And I said, the first big tackle he makes, everyone's going to say, we got Simon back tonight. Whether he's out there every single play or not, you're just going to have that little bit extra confidence, and that's going to be a huge boost for this Arrow offense and defense.
Yeah, I don't disagree. And so you just touched on the Arrow offense a little bit. So let's talk about the Arrow offense, led by the all-world running back Juven Hudson, spending some time with Sioux Falls, Washington's defensive line coach Ryan Shanaman. He said right away that Juven pops off on film for them. But what he said that really stood out to me, that had a big impact on me, is as we hear Star Wars by the Watertown Arrows marching band. How legit is that?
These guys are good.
You know,
I heard them at the parade today, and they're just as good now.
You know, we start talking about Juven and the Evil Empire starts playing. Is that a coincidence?
I don't think it is. I mean, he has been dominating all year, and again, we talked about 30 carries last week, and he's probably going to get him tonight too.
Yeah, and I think that the Arrows match up well athletically and led by Juven against this Sioux Falls Washington team. But getting back to what the defensive line coach for Washington said, he said that Juven Hudson, because I asked him, I said, you see a lot of AAA guys. You know, you see Jefferson and Roosevelt and Harrisburg, and you see all these AAA guys. So I asked him, how does Juven match up against these AAA guys? And without even skipping a beat, he goes, he's as good or better.
I've told everybody that's been willing to listen to me. I in my opinion, he's a top 3 player in the state. You're not going to convince me otherwise. I think that's one of Watertown's obviously their biggest strengths. With Washington, the toughest part is on a 3rd and 1 or a 3rd and 10. You know, you never know who's going to have the ball. They are so well-rounded. For Watertown, when it's 3rd and 1, everybody in the crowd is saying, give the ball to Juven and get out of his way. But that's going to be probably Watertown's biggest difficulty tonight, is when it's 3rd and 6, 3rd and 2. When Washington really needs a play, I don't have any idea where they're going to go to, because, like we've touched on, the depth, their well-roundedness, the quarterback spreads it out to everybody. He runs it a little more, definitely more than we're going to see than what we saw last week.
For sure.
But yeah, Juven is, everyone in the state knows Juven is Watertown's main guy. But tonight, I don't know who's going to fill up the stat sheet for Washington.
You know, I did talk to Washington coaches, and I asked them about the difference between a homecoming game and a standard regular game. And of course, you've got all the alumni here. There's class of '99, Brooke Osmondson right there. I haven't seen her in a long time, so glad that she's back. But anyway, so I asked them the big difference between homecoming and a regular. And what the defensive line coach for Washington said is, he said this is a different atmosphere for them. He said that, they play on these big turf fields, these multi-million-dollar fields, and given the size of the fields, they don't pack them in. Like, they're not selling out. And if we stick our head out and we look out this window to the left and to the right, all we can see is fans from each direction. And we look right in front of us, Sioux Falls, Washington, maybe only have 30 people here. So if this is going to be a different scene for Washington. The coach of Washington told me that they were here for homecoming 2 years ago, and he said it's different for them. They're not acclimated to this. They're not used to the grass versus turf. They're not used to the home crowd being hyped and loud and getting behind their players.
The grass is definitely a big thing. If you're not used to playing that does create its own set of problems. But Watertown's crowd needs to be the X factor tonight. We saw them start fast last week. The crowd was in it, and slowly momentum pulled away, and we never got it back. But in a game like this, where in my opinion it's going to be close all night, they are going to need, like I said, there's not even 30 people over on that sideline. You're going to need to intimidate them from a crowd standpoint. The grass will mess with them a little bit. And I said, but I do think Watertown's crowd, it's really an X factor. I said, this big stands that they play in that they don't pack, those don't get very loud.
Right.
This iconic Watertown football field that you're always talking about, it needs to get loud tonight.
Yeah, and I want to go back to the grass versus the turf a little bit. So I spent some time talking to Jason Reisendorf, the head official for this game. better known to me in my beloved softball world as Jaybird. So I spent some time talking to Jaybird about it, and I asked him, as officials, is there a huge difference on officiating on grass versus turf? And he said, I can't begin to tell you how different it is.
Did he prefer grass?
Well, he said that as far as like his feet go and like how his body feels during and after the game, he prefers grass. But he said as far as like the flow of the game, he said on turf you can get pure spots where you can put the ball down on the 38-yard line and you really don't need a measurement because you can see it.
Right.
But on grass, he said it's a little tougher to get a great measurement. The ball moves more on grass. You know, it kind of like nuzzles in there.
Right.
So he said that in those regards that he does prefer grass over turf. But one thing that I do want to highlight too about this officiating crew has been together for guess how many years? If you're thinking 19, you're accurate.
I was going to say higher than that, just to guess high.
Yeah, this crew has been together for 19 years.
Wow.
The lowest tenured guy on this crew has been there for 12 years. This is an anomaly not only across the state of South Dakota, but across the country. So for this homecoming game, not only are we going to get the best that the Watertown Arrows have, not only are we going to get the best of what Sioux Falls, Washington has, but the best that you and I have, that Arrow TV has, that the fans have, but we're going to get the best that this crew has, and we got a really good one.
I think it's going to be a fun matchup. I said, I think for Watertown, Washington may be a touch faster than them. Grass always kind of evens the playing field with speed.
Absolutely.
Everybody feels faster on turf. You can move faster. With all that quick game stuff that Washington's going to try to attempt to do with the quick outs, the quick slants, you don't naturally move as fast on grass. Not to mention, I believe they practice on turf as well as play on it, so they're not going to be quite as used to it. So you might see a few guys slip and might see a few guys fall down. Arrows catch a few breaks, and we'll obviously take it.
Yeah, for sure. So let's pivot a little bit. It is homecoming, so there are a few different things that are going on. As we get the marching band here, what we're going to see next is we're going to see some Hall of Fame inductees. So we're going to see a couple people here. So just like to congratulate and give some love to Dr. Clark Lickness and Dr. Ed Garish going into the Watertown Arrows Hall of Fame as some contributors. Craig Austin, the class of 1978, he was a standout football player. Kristen Rector-Grease, class of 1993. Kristen participated in track, volleyball, and basketball. 3-time winner. Brittany Page Cooper, class of 2008, nicknamed White Lightning.
I remember watching her play.
White Lightning, standout track athlete for the Arrows, who went on to a fantastic career running at NDSU. And then Josh Olson, class of 2003, co-captain in football, basketball, and track. So congratulations to those fine men and women on their induction into the Watertown Arrows Hall of Fame. I am going to go silent here for a second, and let's just enjoy Metallica and your Watertown Arrows football team taking the field. So as we see the Watertown Arrows football team taking the field to the great Metallica, I also see one Mr. Parker Riefenberger, who would be class of whenever my son graduated.
I saw Tanner Wagey walk by just a few minutes ago. That's a Watertown alum from last year. So
yeah, we're gonna see. We should see some Watertown greats making their way through the iconic Watertown Stadium here. I saw Watertown great Tyler Brinka earlier today at the game here. All right, so let's pivot back from homecoming festivities. Let's go back to the game. Who we didn't talk about, we talked about Jubin. You know, we talked about Simon Hendricks a little bit. Let's talk about the captain, Caden Beauchamp. And let's pause on that as we hear the greatest song ever composed, and then we'll get back to number 67, Caden Beauchamp.
Good mic check, 1, 2.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's football game between the visiting Sioux Falls Washington High Warriors and our Watertown Arrows. This contest is being conducted under the guidance and regulation of the South Dakota High School Activities Association For the enjoyment and educational benefit of high school students, good sportsmanship and respect for officials and their decisions will be expected of everyone. Failure to do so could result in a removal from the event. Posting of the colors by the Watertown Public Safety Cadets Honor Guard Team under direction of the Watertown Police Department. Post the colors. At this time, we ask that you please stand as the Watertown High School Band, under the direction of Austin Fordham, honors America with the playing of our national anthem. Proper respect for the flag is to remove your cap, stand at attention with your right hand over your heart. Active duty personnel or veterans not in uniform may salute the flag. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Incredible job there. Let's before we go to starting lineups, let's go to a pregame interview that I had with Coach Hodorf, talking about homecoming and the health of your Watertown Arrows. Okay, we are here with Coach Hodorf of the Watertown Arrows. Coach, appreciate your time. Tell us what your health's like coming into today's game against Sioux Falls, Washington.
We're pretty healthy today. Only guy that we're questioning right now at game time would be Simon Hendricks. Everybody else is ready to go. Few dings from last week, nothing major.
Good, glad to hear that. Tell us about homecoming, what it means to you, and how important it is for the Arrows.
Homecoming, it's a football game. That's in the end, and that's really all we care about now. Playing Sioux Falls, Washington, they're 1-2, and we need this win really bad for playoffs. So the focus is just get through the week with all the fun and let the kids have their fun, and then we need to refocus tonight and get a win.
Okay. There you have it from Coach Hodorf. Good luck today. Appreciate Coach Hodorf taking some time with us before the game, and you heard it there, yourself about what Hodorf said about homecoming. Like we talked about earlier, the pomp and circumstance is just about wrapped up. Pretty nice introduction here with the band right in front of us.
Oh, they did a good job.
They did do a good job. So we got a couple minutes here while they do the coin toss. We're going to listen to the school song for just a second. I think that's important on homecoming. are back. Like Coach Hodorf said, pomp and circumstances over. The band is currently on the field. We're getting ready for coin toss. If you're the Arrows here, Tyson, we talk about this every week, but we don't talk about homecoming every week. So if you're the Arrows right now, do you want this ball?
Yeah, I think so. I think the offense has been a strength, especially last week. To send a message, I say yes. I say get the ball. I know homecoming's been a little bit of a distraction, but the parade's over, the cars are put away, the band's marching out the field. Time for some Friday night football, and I can't think of a better way to start out with a touchdown.
Yeah, I think what we're gonna see. We talked about it. We talked about the depth of Washington versus Watertown, but the athleticism is pretty close. And maybe you could even make an argument that the nodula tips a little bit towards Watertown on athleticism.
I agree on the top end of the athletes. I would say that it leans in Watertown's favor. Obviously, what we've touched on, when you get into the depth, the pendulum might swing back. But overall, when it's 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, some of those big plays, you want the best athletes on your team. So we've talked about it. I think Watertown's got a really good matchup here, and I think they match up well. I think they play well to their strengths compared to the Sioux Falls Washington's, what they're going to do on offense, the quick game, the quick dive things, the quick read option plays. I think Watertown's game plan is set up for success that way. I'm curious to see what Washington has done to adjust to really going at Watertown's strengths. It looks like on film, they're going to huddle up. They're quick. Once the ball is snapped, they do a lot of things quick. But they go relatively slow on offense. And this is the first time we're going to see a team huddle, I believe, against the Arrows.
Yeah, so the one thing that I really want to highlight with Washington, too, is that people think that they think of Sioux Falls teams, they think of Washington, they think of a lot of state championships, because this program does have 3, 4 state championships. That was under the former coach, Chad Stodham. And the new coach, Ryan Evans, did spend, and this is Evans' 3rd, maybe 4th year in this program as the head coach. And Evans did spend some time under Stodham, but this is a different program.
It is.
Go ahead. And sorry to cut you off there, but when it comes to AAA schools, and no disrespect to Sioux Falls, Washington, and I mean no disrespect to them at all, because they're a phenomenal football program. The coaches were super nice and gave me a lot of time before the game. But they're not the upper echelon of that AAA group. Watertown can hang with this team and can beat this team.
Yeah, I think just naturally you hear Sioux Falls, like you said, and everybody just puts them up on that Mount Rushmore that whether they do or they don't belong in there, you can't just crown them with that every single year. Watertown's got to not worry about who they're playing, not worry about the name. Just go out and play against those 11 guys and do your job that way, and they'll be fine. But like you said, Washington was winning state titles 10, 15 years ago when I was back in school, and they haven't been that same powerhouse of a team. But regardless whether it is or it isn't, the Arrows players cannot worry about who they're playing tonight. They have to go out, execute their jobs, stick to their game plan. And from what I've seen on film, they will do just fine.
So as the Arrows are getting announced here, these incredible camera shots that you're getting from Arrow TV, courtesy brought to you by Dakota Land Federal Credit Union. But I want to give a shout out to Katie Liederbrand and Emily Miller. I believe it's Emily Miller. Somebody please correct me if I'm wrong. But these 2 young ladies, they're out here and they are killing it. Look at these shots that we're getting. Where else are you going to get these incredible shots like this?
It's awesome. Right out in the middle of the turf, right on the W. I mean, that doesn't happen very often. I said, especially for a young, female professional like that to get those kind of shots. And that does not happen very often for many teams, many students in the entire state.
No, it's pretty impressive, and this is just one of 1,000 things that we could talk about all day about Arrow TV and how fantastic it is. Right now, what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to turn it over to Jay Bird, the head official, the head referee. We're going to try to turn it over to him. We do have him mic'd, and we're going to see if we can take you right in to the middle of that coin toss as the Arrow captains are getting lined up. And we've got Caden Beauchamp, we got Juven Hudson, we have Simon Hendrick, and then we've got number 56, Landon Peary. See if we can get Jaybird here as some knuckles are being exchanged. All right, he may have forgotten about us, which is okay. He's got more important things to do than turn on his mic for us, right?
We'll see here. Maybe not. I think you're right. He maybe didn't get us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
to me, I do think Washington wants to get the ball. We talked about with some of the, I don't even want to call them depth concerns, but if you think the Arrows might tire out as the game goes on or just be at that natural disadvantage for not having as many guys play.
All right, Watertown wins the toss. They defer to the second half.
Oh, well, I was wrong.
okay. Well, that's why we're up here.
Right.
And they're down there.
I personally agree with always trying to defer. Just on homecoming, if you want to come out and send that quick message, get the crowd into it.
Washington will receive at this end zone.
That's where you could have convinced me otherwise. But personally, I always do like to defer on a overall basis.
Yeah, I do too. I like to go out there, I mean, you can get just as much momentum with a 3 and out, with a turnover, a punt, and that's one thing that we really didn't highlight in pregame is the Arrow special teams has really been incredible for this team. We got the opening kickoff, 80 yards to the house by Juven Hudson. We had
block punt that night.
Yeah, we had a block punt that night. Last week we had again roughly an 80-yard kickoff for a touchdown that was called back on a penalty on the backside of the play. But the Arrow special teams has been great.
We haven't seen a game all year where they haven't been really, really good. You almost start to get to take that for advantage, take that for granted. You see it so often. So hopefully it can stay true tonight. But we'll see. I also think this is a big opportunity for the Watertown defense. Last week, the last 3 quarters didn't quite go the way they planned. So to come out and send out, a very good Watertown Arrows defense, hopefully get a quick 3 and out or stop them pretty quick. I think that is important for team morale as well.
Well, the pomp and circumstance is over. The vans have gone. The dance is on hold. And Watertown Homecoming 2023 is just about underway. As the kicker for the Arrows, number 39, Tom Foley, addresses the ball and gets clearance from both lines that he is okay to go ahead and kick. And here we go. Foley kicks right down the middle of the field, and it's fielded cleanly at about the 5 by number 12 for Washington, and he's going to get met right at the 20-yard line again by a slew of Arrow defenders. That's a good start.
Lincoln Schuett, that freshman, we've talked about him a couple times this year. He just ran somebody over on that middle line, and then he got in on that tackle there.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's Lincoln Scott.
Scott,
yep. And that young man, we are going to be calling his name for the next 4 years, because he's going to be special for the Arrows.
Yeah, he plays like that on kickoff. He's going to be starting on, maybe not starting on defense, but he'll be in the rotation a lot faster than what he maybe expected.
He got some carries 2 weeks ago against Huron. So here we go, first offensive play of the game, and we see with shotgun formation, and he's going to go right to that dive. Busts out left a little bit. He's going to pick up a few yards, but that's exactly what we talked about. We're going to see that dive, and more often than not, that dive is going to go up the middle. Here he bounced it outside a little bit, but we're going to see that dive all game long, Tyson.
Yeah, I watched film, and I barely saw any other run plays besides just that zone read, just kind of ground upon out of the shotgun.
So what's the quarterback looking for there? He's reading these ends, right?
You know what? Whether it's a zone read or not, he's looking at that backside end, yes. I think a lot of the calls that they give, though, I think they're just having it be a straight give.
So Hoffman back shotgun. This time he hands off, and again, it's just a dive right down the middle. And they're really running into the knife of that Arrow defense, and if they're going to continue to do that, I feel like that's a battle that we're going to win.
I think that's definitely Watertown's favor. That's what they want. Again, I expect Washington to have a plan B, but like you said, this is exactly what Watertown is hoping they're going to run all night.
So we go to a 3rd and 1, and as you can see already, you see Washington guys coming in and off the field, and that's that depth we talked about. Let's see if the Arrows can get a stop here. 3rd and 1 on the 29 with 10:40 left to go in the first quarter. Might have got a away with a false start there, but I think they got him stopped
They're short.
They're short. I think they're about a whole yard short.
That first down play might have caught him off guard, Sam, but they've been ready for the next two here.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's going to bring up 4th down, and I don't see Washington getting off the field.
They're punting.
Yeah, they are punting. Here comes the punt team.
Look at that. It's a full line change.
It is a full line change, but that again, that goes back to that depth that we talked about. And again, it goes back to Coach Hordorf and the Arrows coaching staff deciding to defer and taking the ball in the second half. But now we talk about that momentum line. A lot of it, and now it's all going towards Watertown right now after impressive 3 and out.
Let's make sure they punt this ball here.
So they do punt, and it's an end-over-end punt. It's going to bounce towards about the 40-yard line. It looks like it's going to die there after about an extra yard. So it's going to be good field position for the Arrows. 39, 38-yard line for the Arrows.
You asked me a lot, Sam, what I do here. You know, I want to get your opinion on homecoming. You know, anybody's hopes are high.
Yeah.
What do you think comes out in the first play here?
Well, if I was a gambling man, I'm going to say it's going to get handed off to number 8, Juven Hudson.
I agree with you, and that's why I take a shot deep. I think you carry the momentum the team's got right now, kind of the emotion of the crowd, and I take a shot right here.
Well, they are trips to the top of the screen here with Juven offset. They are going to hand off to Juven. He's going to come to the weak side and try to get around that tackle, and he will, but he's met for a short gain.
You were right.
Well,
I still think it's coming early.
It's not a bad strategy to give it to that young man.
We talked about, you know, playing that Sioux Falls school, and that's in the back of your mind.
Right.
I like that shot right off the bat. You know, get a big 20, 50-yard touchdown maybe, just to say, hey, we're here. We're going to play with these guys. We're going to be here all night. I like sending that message.
Interesting strategy running on the left side, on the short side there.
Yeah, I thought they were going to follow the trips maybe too, if not take that deep shot.
So you go back to a traditional I formation and hand off to Juven on the right side here, and Juven's going to get behind his lead back, and he's going to pick up a few here. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and about medium, 3rd and 5. So again, there's all sorts of different things that you can do here, and it looks like Watertown's going to bring in a more pass-happy option with Cohen Krantz coming in and number 3, Nathan Briggs, coming in. So we'll see what Arrows and what Coach Hodorf can line up here on 3rd and 5 on the 43. Boy, it'd be really nice if they could pick up a first down here. They've got trips to the left and a lone man up top with Juven to the right.
Keep an eye on Briggs here.
So Hemrick is going to roll out.
He's open.
He's got a guy.
Wide open.
Wide open right there, and that's your boy. You called it. Number 3 for the Arrows, Nathan Briggs, with an explosive 55-yard touchdown.
Take that shot early in the game, send a message. We don't care who you are. When you come to our place on homecoming, we're coming for you.
Trayton Hemrick with a dot over the middle, and it's not Tony Romo, ladies and gentlemen. It's Tyson Zemlicka with the Nostradamus call to kick off homecoming in style.
I love Trayton Hemrick standing there, too. He takes a good shot at the end of that throw, but it's what you got to do on homecoming to get a win sometimes, and it doesn't hurt near as bad when you get up off your back and you see your guy standing in the end zone.
I tell you what, it's fun to see Nathan Briggs catch the long ball, to run like that, to get the yak, the yards after the catch, and get the touchdown, because that man has been being fed all game or all season.
I think Watertown might have jumped here a little bit.
Sorry, I got too excited.
Oh, that's okay. To your credit, he is the guy that's got to be force-fed a little bit on the receiving end, and if they're going to forget about him, Washington's going to have a long night.
Before the snap, encroachment on the defense. After this is the goal, we're going to retry the down.
Let's get that patented Eagles formation in here, huh?
Yeah.
Now we're on the 1 yard line. Might as well just push them all in.
You know, we call that in my area the tush push.
You're from Watertown.
But in my area is the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's the tush push.
And your fan club.
Yes. That is just me and me. So moving on from your Super Bowl 52 champion Philadelphia Eagles, let's focus back to the Watertown Arrows. And let's see if we can get an accurate number there. That was a 56-yard touchdown pass from Hemrick to Briggs, and we start your homecoming off with a bang.
That was the only reason I thought you might receive the ball. But I love how you set up kind of those, you know, it's a third and medium, 3rd and 5. Not guaranteed if Watertown's going to run the ball and then go for it on 4th. Kind of keep them guessing, and then you hit them over the top like that. Exactly what Watertown needed, and you got the confidence from your defense to say, we're going to stop these all night if they're just going to try to pound it up the middle, because that's what we do.
Sure. So now, folks, we've seen this before. We don't have to go back far. We can just go back to last week. when the Arrows took a 14-0 lead against Yankton, and then wound up kind of falling off a little bit. Homecoming, packed crowd, got to keep your foot on the gas.
That's the first thing Hodor told me when they got back to the sideline. I guarantee it. You got more than 3.5 quarters left, almost a full game yet to play. Stay locked in, stick to the assignment, stick to your job, trust the guy beside you, and let's keep going. Foot on the gas.
Well, let's see if they can answer, if the defense can answer back with another 3-and-out or potential turnover. Tom Foley's back to kick here. Looks like he's got the approval of everybody and lines up and kicks another good ball, this time down the hash mark here. He takes it right to about the goal line.
Yep.
A little bit of a hole there. I think we're going to
get... Number 41, that's our guy on special teams.
Yep.
And he still makes a tackle.
He got held and still made a tackle, I'm telling you, man. Lincoln Scott.
Lincoln Scott.
Lincoln Scott. That is a name that we are going to call.
Look at it, he drew 3 flags.
Look at him, and he's counting them.
Even the refs were watching him. That's the guy I watched come down the field,
just
too.
See number 20, Cole Hansen, walk off the field, and he's counting them, all the laundry. That's one.
During the return, holding on the return team, number 8. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Fantastic work by our referee, Jaybird.
Hey, he said a good crew. I could see it from up here clear as day, and 3 of them caught it, so.
Well, I feel like that they were all attacking him with their laundry. All right, so Washington's going to take possession here. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line with 8 minutes and 49 seconds left in the first quarter, down 7-0. Traditional shotgun formation. Number 16 is going to go in motion. And number 9, Hoffman, is going to hand off. And again, it's going to be that dive.
You know, all the plays I watch where they do the motion, usually I typically saw it clear out all the way through the formation, but here they comes here, but they still are they stick to those same plays no matter what. It's
a little different. We didn't see this on film. We didn't see a whole lot of hurry up from them. There's that screen. We did see that a lot.
See, there's that grass effect. You're not used to just trying to catch it and quick turn up field. You gotta be careful with your feet on this grass field. It's not something they're used to.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little different for them. I mean, how their feet move, how they maneuver.
Now our guy's in there. He makes 2 big plays on kickoff, and our guy Lincoln Scott's in there at middle linebacker.
Telling you what, man, if we want to just start calling his name a lot tonight, I got 0 issues with that. That young man is going to have an incredible career for the Arrows. So,
homecoming's different when you're a freshman. He's probably not so worried about everything else that's going on. He's locked into the cause here tonight.
So now we've got 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom with the tight end at the bottom here. Shotgun formation, this time back to pass. He's got a little pocket, and there's what we talked about. There's exactly what we talked about. Number 18 for Washington is going to take that one all the way to the house. Watertown has to figure out a way to slow down the explosive long passing plays.
Yeah, I didn't see the back end of the play at the start there. God, it looked like it was man coverage. There was nobody even over the top, unless you just snuck by him and I didn't see it. But yeah, like you said, that's something that's got to get cleaned up.
Yeah, Watertown just they got to find a way to tighten up and that passing coverage and not allow those explosive 80 yards. Waiting for the stat to come in, but 75, 80-yard touchdown pass. So the extra point is going to be attempted here by number 31 for Washington, and that is Ryder Dauberpool, freshman kicker. So see what kind of leg the young man has. Looks like a pretty good one.
He made some field goals in the on the film that I watched.
Yeah. So 7-7, 8 minutes, 14 seconds left, and here's the replay here. Delivers a nice ball over the. Yeah, I mean the separation between the wide receiver and the corner there is a few yards, and you know the credit to the quarterback for Washington, Thomas Hoffman, threw a nice ball.
Yeah, Shea Coulter in the corner was encouraged. Like I said, I just didn't see any safety anywhere near there. And like I said, on 3rd and 8, I missed if they brought him on a blitz or whatever it may have been, but he was kind of left out there on an island for 3rd and long. I must have missed something.
Yeah, you're 100% right. There was no safety over the top. There was no safety help. Like you, I wasn't 100% sure if that safety came down into the box. But on 3rd and 7, I can't imagine that safety was in the box.
Well, you know, they were in that doubles formation.
Yep.
I'm not sure if he jumped the inside slant.
Sure.
Which obviously left the one that was a couple yards deeper over the top, wide open. That was maybe the case. We're going to see that play again later, obviously.
You know what? Maybe what we'll see after that explosive play. Maybe what we'll see and we saw it in week 1. Maybe we'll see number 8 Juven Hudson go back to corner.
I would think, like I said, his conditioning at this point has got to be in a spot, even with 30 carries a game, where it gets tough on you. But and maybe they're going to save him maybe the second half to do some of that. But you'd like to see your 11 best out there at all times.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say at some point we will see that. We did see this on film a lot too from Washington. Pooch kick right down the middle. That is a live ball picked up by Owen Sparks and taken up to about 25-yard line before he's taken down by a slew of Washington Warrior defenders. So just to reset here, there's 8 minutes and 8 seconds left in the first quarter. Plenty of game left. Arrows are going to take over 1st and 10 on their own 25. Tie ball game here, 7-7 after 2 explosive passing plays from both teams.
Yeah, exactly what you drew up for Watertown on offense. Not quite what you did on defense, but now this is Watertown's second possession. We'll see if they can go for the big one right away like they did in the first one.
So looks like Himrick is going to be under center here in a traditional I formation. I believe that's Wenches at the fullback spot. They're going to play action here and fake to Juven. He's looking deep for Cohen Crayons, number 10, who comes back to the ball, makes a phenomenal adjustment, and they're going to get Washington for PI.
Yeah, that was a heck of a catch. Great adjustment to the ball.
Fantastic adjustment
while
to the
being
ball.
held. Like I said, Watertown's going to do a little bit more this night, a little bit more of the play action. Washington's good in the front 7 too. They're really good all around. So to keep them on their heels a little bit, kind of mixing up here a little bit.
Pass interference on the defense, number 8. That penalty's declined. Result of the play is first down.
So that replay, brought to you by Dakota Land Federal Credit Union, does show you a fantastic job by Cohen Crayons, making the adjustment with the ball in the air, fighting off the pass interference, and saying, you know what, this is my senior season, this is my homecoming game, I'm making that play.
Right, ball was underthrown just a touch, which is sometimes in your benefit when the cornerback doesn't look back, and made a great play on the ball. Juven at receiver.
This is something we didn't see in previous weeks. Juven at receiver, and this time he goes in motion and puts the ball on the ground, but quickly recovers. But in high school,
he dropped it, so it's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, they're going to go with that. They're going to mark that as an incomplete pass.
Yeah, that's at all levels. Whenever that ball's thrown forward like that and it's dropped, it's an incomplete pass because the ball was thrown forward.
So it looks like we've got a guy down on the field.
That last play, the ball was thrown forward, which is an incomplete pass. Second down. Injury timeout.
So we got an incomplete forward pass. Thank you to Mr. Jaybird. We'll take this opportunity to take a quick commercial break brought to you by Dakota Land Federal Credit Union.
Second down and 10.
Okay, and we are back, and by commercial break, I meant that Tyson and I needed 30 seconds to get a drink of water because, woof, it is warm in here.
It's not as warm as it has been 5 minutes into the game, but
the Arrows offense is heating up. As Juven lines up to the left of Himrick, and Himrick is going to drop back to pass. He's going to roll out to his left. He's got a little bit of room, makes a guy, ooh, give me 15. Yes, sir. Give me 15 more. That is a headshot. That young man for Washington, number 10, just hit Trayton Hemrick right in the head, right in front of us.
Yeah, I mean, you're right in front of an official there. Looked like it was good. He had him for time-wise. It wasn't like it was late, but yeah, went right at his noggin.
Yep.
Easy call for a good referee crew like that, right on top of it.
Yep, absolutely. Let's go to the official.
Personal foul on the defense, number 8. 15-yard penalty, first down.
So there you hear it from the man himself, 15-yard penalty, personal foul. It's going to be 15 yards for the good guys. Thankfully, Trenton's okay there. Those headshots, man, they can be scary.
Yeah, Washington's coach has to love the physicality.
Sure.
You're just aiming at the wrong area. That's all it is. It's a quick, easy thing to correct, but give the Arrows 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Arrows back in a traditional I formation with Winches at fullback here, and this time they're going to hand off to Juven on the left side, and Juven's going to pick up a few. Sadly, another flag.
Kind of throwing that holding area.
Yeah, I believe that would be the case. Let's see what he says here.
There is a flag on the play.
During the run, holding on the offense, number 62. It's a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first down.
Jeff holding, that's on the 6'3", 230-pound left tackle, Nash Berg.
Against the Watertown Arrows.
So this is going to bring up 1st and 20. 7 minutes to go, 7-7 game. A lot of laundry going on here. Let's see if both teams can clean it up here. Let's see if Watertown can crawl out of the hole that they put themselves in here. This time they're going to go with split backs. Juven to the left and Himrick under center with Wenches to the right. And the handoff to Juven is going to kind of go up the middle. I think Juven had a hole there if he just kept going around that right side instead of taking it up the middle.
Yeah, he ran into his own guys back there a little bit.
Yeah.
By doing that, he helped launch the defender.
Absolutely. That shows you how strong
Yeah,
Juven is.
he didn't get quite as long of a gain as he wanted, but you know, you'll take 4 yards on a normal play, but when you're behind the chains an extra 10, it's you got to get a little bit bigger chunks than that. But not a bad first down here. I expect them to. They might run another down or two. I don't know if they can get quite in field goal range, but.
Well, we'll see what they do here with Juven being the lone back here. We've got trips.
I'd like to see a
right.
bubble screen out there would be nice.
Himrick's got some time and Josh back. He's got a guy. He's going
Briggs.
deep. He's got Briggs again.
Touchdown.
Nathan Briggs. Good gravy, young man. What a phenomenal catch in the back of the end zone right next to the pylon. And Nathan Briggs says, this is my senior season, my homecoming.
He must have told him last week, you didn't throw me the ball enough, because he comes out and throws 2 great passes to him to start opening up this game, and he's delivered for him. So he's going to keep getting some more.
The concentration that Briggs has there to, 1, get the separation from the defender, 2, to find the ball, and then 3, to have the body control to stay in the end zone, stay in bounds, and 4, complete the catch.
A great all-around play, and Washington's got to be shocked right now. This isn't what we're used to seeing from Watertown. It's not what they've seen on film. Watertown's really made the first adjustment. We'll see what Washington's offense has to do, because if they can just keep throwing around, they won't have to make one. They'll just abandon the run.
So let's talk about that you're 100% right, because this isn't what Watertown is. This isn't what we're used to seeing from Watertown. So let's reset here. Trayton Himrick is 3 of 4 for 122 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's got completions of 56, 38, and 28.
Having a heck of a start to this game tonight. Said Watertown's about to abandon the run, and Juven he's probably never heard anybody say that, but at this rate, and we've talked about it, Washington's solid up front. They're super well rounded. So maybe get away from your game plan a little bit and throw it around the field here a little bit. I like watching those games personally. So,
well, I tell you what, when I was watching film on Watertown the first 3 games, and I know when you were watching film on Watertown the first 3 games, we didn't come here talking about the electric arm of Trayton Himrick and 122 yards passing on 3 completions.
Right, that's the same thing Washington's coach is saying is, what do they got going on that's so different here, what they've been working on during the week? Because this is not the Arrows team we expected to play.
No, not at all. But you know what? I'm here for it.
Right, it's perfect. This is exactly what you got to do is get them on their heels a little bit. It's going to open up the run game for you. You're going to have to go back to that. So it's perfect.
So what's going to happen is that the corners and the safeties and the linebackers are all going to have to dip off. They're going to have to sag back, and then that's just going to open up lanes for Juven. So this kick is going to be taken down at about the 6 and then returned, and it's going to go right up the middle, and I'm a little scared. Give me a block in the back there, please. Slowed down enough.
That one was close.
Yeah, slowed down enough in order to make the tackle at about the 35-ish, 36. But that one was a little scary because when he brought that up, there's a lot of running room. So good tackle there to stop the long gain. So we'll see what the Arrows defense can do here. See if we can get a stop and get the ball back in the electric hands of Trayton Himrick.
Going to come out in an empty package here, huh?
Haven't seen the empty package a whole lot. It's going to be trips right.
Where they're going to shift it what they want.
Yep, they'll ship over. And that whole, we got a wide receiver up top that we missed there. So it's going to be that screen, 1 cut, and then north and south right away.
But you can live with those plays. 3-4 yards on those bubble screens. They're not going to run those probably all night anyway. It's just getting that ball over the top figured out.
So this is going to bring up a 2nd and 3 on the 42 with just about 5 minutes left on the clock. With your Watertown Arrows up 14-7 as Washington breaks their huddle. 2 top stacked receivers, 2 top up, 2 top down. Send a guy in motion. shotgun formation. This time they're going to hand off, and it's going to be that traditional dive that we talked about. Boy, oh boy.
The handoff is to number 11.
That
Mason
number 11
Wilson.
there
He's going to carry the
for,
ball into arrow territory
for Washington.
to 45,
Mason Wilson.
where he's met by
That young
number
man's not afraid of
65,
contact.
Jason
No, he looks like
First down, Washington High.
just kind of a bulldozer out there.
You know,
Lowers his shoulder and stays low to the ground. He runs hard.
I might age myself a little bit here, but maybe somebody at home watching remembers Mike Allstott from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's quite the shout out for a young man. But that's what he looked like on that run.
Yeah, boy, that was pretty impressive. So it's going to bring 1st and 10 for Washington. Trips left this time with a single receiver down on the bottom. Shotgun, he's looking left again. A little 5-yard out to number 3, tackled by number 3, Nathan Briggs. 3-on-3 crime.
Hoffman's pass complete to number
Just glad he
3,
got him down here.
Ackerman.
But this is what we are seeing this. We talked about the long passes over the top, but I believe you highlighted it in the pregame. The 5-yard outs, the screens, the little dink and dunk. And what this is going to do is it's going to cause the arrows to come in to try to stop that from happening, which makes them susceptible to the long run.
That was one thing I was going to say before the game is I thought their corners would play tight tonight, but after a long touchdown like that, they're not right up on them like I was expecting.
This time it's an option. Captain makes a guy miss and gets tackled down by number 2, I believe that's Peyton Bisker.
I think Caden Beauchamp missed that one. Missed him in the backfield. He'd be kicking himself for that one. He read it really well. He just didn't quite wrap him up and get him down.
I feel like Mr. Beauchamp helps us certainly more than he hurts us.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Everybody gets one.
Absolutely. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 6 with 3.5 to go in the first quarter. Watertown holding on to a 14-7 lead. Washington's driving. See if we can get a stop here and bring up a 3rd and 6, or maybe we can get a few yards back and bring up a 3rd and 8. Washington drops back, and there's the pressure right away, and he is going to be gobbled up.
That's better.
Not 1, not 2, but 3 of your Watertown arrows in on that one, including Peyton Bisker, including Caden Beauchamp, and I can't get the other number for the arrows there. Is that number 28? Number 28
Probably.
is Caden Decker.
See, last week when Beauchamp ran up the field there, last week when everybody ran up the field, there was nobody in the middle. This week, quarterback steps up, and he's swarmed by arrows.
Fantastic.
That was what was missing last week. If that has been fixed, watch out for your arrows defense tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree. So this is going to bring up a 3rd and 14 on the 38-yard line. Washington back with the shotgun. Trips left with the running back to the left here. Drops back. He's going to have to go a little deeper than what he wants to. He's got his guy.
He is short.
And he's going to be short of the first down, but it's going to be a manageable 4th down. It's a nice pass, a nice completion to number 12, Pierce Gamarco.
Are they going to hurry up and go for it here? It looks like it.
Yeah, it's going to bring up a manageable 4th and 1.
Just do not jump.
Yep. So got a running back to the right in the shotgun formation. You know they're going to go right up to this. They're going to hold it. He's going to get sacked. He's going to get sacked. A big-time sack on 4th and 1.
Spencer
That's
Wenches.
by number 22, Spencer Wenches. Fantastic.
Great time to bring an extra man off the edge.
Let me tell you what, the junior comes off the edge and comes clean and makes the tackle, sticks with it, and brings him down for a sack on a big 4th down stop.
I really expected, I thought Washington might actually punt it there. I'm not sure why I was thinking that, but they probably should have done that instead. But Winches comes clean off the edge. Quarterback never sees him. Gets a great hit on the backside from him there.
Just a fantastic individual effort by Spencer Wenches there. Now the momentum comes back to Watertown, and let's see if Watertown can capitalize on a traditional I formation. Juven in the backfield, and they're going to hand off and go Juven right. Juven's got a little bit of a hole, and he's going to get about 5 yards there. And I tell you what, Tyson, if you can get 5 yards on every play, you're going to have a good game.
Especially against this defense. Now they're maybe respecting that pass game a little bit more. Juven's getting a little bit more of a hole, like more what he's used to. 5 yards in a cloud of dust for him all night. We'll take it.
You know, Juven, we're just about at the end of the first quarter here. Juven's got 4 carries.
And the Arrows are up 14-7.
We'll take it.
Briggs has 2 catches for, I think, 86 yards.
Back to the traditional I formation here with Himrick under center, and he's going to hand off to Juven. This time he's going to go left. Looks similar to the other play that we just saw, but this time he goes left guard. Last time he goes right guard. Result is the same. This time, Arrow first down.
Now they're playing complementary football, Arrow football. running the ball, passing the ball. Everything's kind of clicking from right now on offense. They keep this up, and sky's the limit for this offense.
It's going to be, yeah. I mean, like you said, if they can keep the momentum on their side, they can keep them guessing run versus pass, and then if they're going to snap off 5 yards at a time, that spells for a good recipe for an Arrow W. Hemrick's going to be back under center here, and we're going to go Juven right this time again under that I formation. Similar play, similar result.
Power got that guard pulling through. Watertown loves running that play this year. It's been good to them. That one clicked off, maybe a touch out of sync, but again, 4 or 5 yards, you're going to take that every time.
Yeah, scoreboard says 2nd and 6. So, but again, I mean, if you can rip off 4 yards at a time, you're in good shape.
One more play here before the quarter's up. If they run again, I expect him to keep this game moving here.
Yeah, 6 carries for Juven for a total of 26 yards. Not bad, but the other thing is that if Juven's only getting, I shouldn't say only, 6 carries a quarter, that's recipe for 24 carries.
Keep him fresh.
Yeah, but if we can really lean on him in the 4th quarter and keep him fresh, then that's fantastic.
That's a good recipe for the Arrows.
So here we go. We'll recap the first quarter here. Arrows up 14-7. They're going to take over in the second quarter, 2nd and 6 on the ball in the 45. We'll take this timeout. Brought to you by Dakota Land Federal Credit Union.
Again, the Watertown Football Association would like to thank the following sponsors for sponsoring team meals before each home game. First Premier Bank and Bank Card, Worth Electronics, Relia Bank.
My name is Landon Perry, and you're watching high school Arrow football on Arrow TV.
Okay, and we are back. So real quick, Juven Hudson's got 6 carries for 26 yards. Hemrick is 3 of 4 for 122 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like you just said before we came back, this is the Watertown offense that we signed up to watch.
This is what we expected to see at the beginning of the year.
So Hemrick is going to go in shotgun. He's going to pass. He's got a guy coming down on him, but he's going to go deep. The ball's a little underthrown. It looks like he was looking for his favorite receiver. Just kidding. One of his favorite receivers, number 10, Cohen Krantz.
Yeah, I think Briggs is his favorite receiver tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
But Cohen Krantz made an excellent catch on the ball in that first quarter, and he just about did it again there.
One thing that I will say about Cohen Krantz is he may not light up the stat sheet, but
consistent.
That guy, he's got phenomenal hands. He catches just about everything thrown to him.
Well, speaking of him and Briggs, they're both out, so I would say the betting favorite is to have a run play here.
Mitch Olson is the lone wide receiver at the top on the left side for Hemrick. Gonna get a false start here, or is that a timeout?
I don't see any flags.
Gonna get a timeout for Watertown here.
Flag on the play.
Oh, there's a flag.
Why don't?
We'll go to official here.
Timeout. Watertown.
Timeout.
Their first half.
God, you can't love seeing that one play out of the quarter.
Well,
I don't know if somebody's on the.
Hodorf obviously saw something he didn't like because that timeout did come from Hodorf right in front of us.
Huh.
So
I'm not sure if somebody's lined up wrong or incorrectly there or what. But that's, I mean, as a head coach, you got to hate burning that timeout one play into the second quarter. But it's a lot better than getting
legal formation.
Yeah, something like that.
Offsides or something silly, something that you can control.
Right.
There's a lot of penalties that happen in the course of a game that you can't necessarily control. But in a legal formation, you can control that 100% of the time.
And that was only the first time out, but this is a big spot in this game. You can get maybe 3-4 yards here. You really consider going for on 4th down. The way your offense is playing, the way you kind of got yanked on their heels. So this is a big down. It's important that they get, like I said, hopefully at least 3-4 yards here to give you a chance maybe to go for it.
Yeah, so it's 3rd and 5 right now, and the ball's on the 46. They are in position to, depending on what happens here, to go for it. Hopefully we don't have to talk about going for it on 4th down. Hopefully Hodorf doesn't have to make that decision. Hinrichsen shotgun this time with Juven to his right. He's going to roll out in that direction. He's looking in the flat for number 7 and Mitch Olsen, but he's going to be taken down in the backfield by Washington. That's going to bring up a 4th and a 100% punt.
He's tackled again by number 10, Dante Smith.
Yeah, one of the few times that you see Juven kind of drop the ball for you there on that sprint out play. He's really got to set the edge. Did not do a great job there, and the guy he was ultimately blocking that he didn't seal off ended up making the tackle in the backfield.
Well, we'll see if Watertown can get a good punt here. Wenches, and you can see Hodorf talking him up about exactly what you just talked about. Wenches is a really good punter, and he gets off another good one here. And it's going to be returned by Sioux Falls, Washington, number 12. He's going to be tackled on the far side of the field on a lone tackle. Is that Krantz that made the tackle? Or no, that's number 11. Looked like Braden Ross.
Yep.
Yeah, fantastic
tackle.
tackle.
That was a great tackle.
Yeah.
Good form tackle. Here comes the replay.
Yeah, here we go. Right on the replay. We should be able to see it as he pops into your screen right there. Again, excellent camera work by the fine young ladies for Aero TV. Good job, young ladies. So 11 minutes left in the second quarter. Warriors are going to take over 1st and 10 on the 29, trailing by 7. They're going to line up in a shotgun, and that's where they'll primarily be. This time with trips left and a single receiver on the bottom. They're going to hand off on the dive, the play that we've seen quite a bit. Spun around for a gain of about 5 or 6 there. Arrows are going to trot out number 86, Cooper Ketwig, sophomore linebacker, 5'6", 140 pounds.
Yeah, we talked about at the beginning, if Watertown does have a fair amount of depth in one spot, it's that linebacking core. They just send out good one after good one after good one.
Yeah, 100%. Wenches, Austin Johnson, Caden Beauchamp.
Caden Decker.
We see Cooper Ketwig come out there. We've called his name before. Not to mention Peyton Bisker, played that role in the first game. So a similar formation. This time number 18 is going to go in motion to the left. He's going to drop back. He's got number 12 here. We got a flag on the play. 12 is going to be chased down and tackled by 2 guys right before midfield. We'll see what the flag is.
It is coming back, Sam.
Hopefully it's on the Washington.
The offense is already backing up.
Yeah, 100%. Yep, the offense knew it immediately. We'll see what the official says.
Before the pass, holding on the offense, number 6. It's a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 2nd down.
So that's going to be a holding on Jeremiah Oman for Washington. So good news for the good guys. It's going to be 2nd and 14 now for Washington.
Still haven't seen Simon out there. I'm not sure if he's going to get in there sparingly or exactly what the game plan is. I don't think I missed that.
No, he's hard to miss. When he's out there, we'll know. So Washington's going to take over here, 2nd and 16. They're going to go back with, we've seen this a lot. Trips, and then this time he's going to drop back and pass. He's got a nice little pocket. He's got time, and then there's that guy over the middle. Nice tackle again by Nathan Briggs, who's just having himself a game.
It's all those quick, short, underneath, fast routes. You just try to outrun your guy and see if you can pick up some more yards. That time, good coverage by Briggs, even though he caught it to get him down immediately.
Yeah, when it's 2nd and 16, and then you take it to 3rd and 7, you can live with that.
Right.
That you can definitely live with that.
Now let's see what we got here. If they're going to have that safety over the top, they're going to drift off a little bit here because you stop them, you're pretty sure they're going to punt it.
Well,
so I just want to see how they.
Let's see if those linebackers in the middle, if they're going to blitz or if they're going to go into soft coverage and try to take away that middle.
Here
they both come. They both come on a. Did that ball hit the ground?
I think he caught it.
I think he caught it too.
Yeah, it's really that same zone. Sparks was over the number 3 in the slot, so he kind of hit his guy. Number 2 just takes off down the seam, and it's like we kind of just lost him.
It's a good pocket by Washington's offensive line. You could see the pocket form immediately, and credit to the quarterback for Washington, Tommy Hoffman. He sits back there in that pocket. He looks comfortable. His feet are set. He's throwing a nice ball.
I've seen some maturity from him too in the previous one I had watched. He likes to get out of there and he likes to use his legs. Tonight he's been content to sit back there.
Trips left this time, and a quick 3-step drop, and he's looking for his guy right away with pressure coming at him.
Number 11.
Number 11, Braden Ross again.
He forced that early pass. Receiver wasn't ready for it. Good blitz there by the Arrows.
Yeah, great blitz by the Arrows, and we saw a rush throw. I mean, that was a quick 3-step drop, But the ball gets out of his hands pretty quick.
Yeah, this is the offense they run. You know, he's used to that quick. It's not even barely a 3-step drop. He hits that back foot, and he's letting it fly. Thankfully, it was about a half second faster than normal, and the receiver wasn't even ready for it.
So 8.5 minutes left in the second quarter here. Washington's got the ball on the 48-yard line, just over midfield. And again, trips left, single back, one wide receiver at the top of your screen there. He's going to drop back to pass. He's got a little bit of time. He's going deep down that sideline.
Great job, Briggs.
What? Oh, no, he can't happen to Briggs again for a second week.
Man, a great job getting his head turned around, playing the ball.
I can't wait to see this replay. I can't wait to see this replay. Can we get this replay brought to us by Dakota Land Federal Credit?
Defending was number 3, Nathan Briggs.
Pass interference on the defense, number 3. It's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. It's first down.
Yowzers.
I think it's coming now. Yeah, the tail end of the replay, but
did he get his hand on
no,
it?
I really think
he jumped over it.
Yeah, I think he played that out as good as you can. He actually looked back, but you don't see a lot of high school kids do, even though they are taught to.
Well, and that's
makes
the
a
whole
great play
thing.
on the ball.
That's the whole thing. As you're a corner and you're a defender defending a pass, you whip your head around and go find the ball. You're in good shape.
And that really was a good play.
Gonna go back to the dive right up the middle. Watertown Arrows defense is tough to run against, and they show it why here. Not much there. It's gonna bring up a 2nd and 10.
I think that was Micah Hawk there in the middle. I believe it was. Yep, that was him.
Micah Hawk, you know, we don't call his name a ton on defense. He doesn't make a ton of tackles. You know, not getting a ton of sacks, but he's clogging holes.
Right. You can't make every tackle when you're getting double teamed either. You're taking up 2 guys. Somebody else's job is to come free and make a tackle. But in that case, you can't even block him with 2.
You want to talk about how good Micah Hawk is. Micah Hawk's going down to Iowa State for a visit with the Iowa State University. That's how good Micah Hawk
That's awesome. Good for that young man.
Yeah, trips right this time.
There he took off.
And there he takes off, and he's got a lot of room to go. Just great blocking by number 12 for Washington. That's Pierce Gamarco. We called his name, I believe, on the touchdown.
Yeah, we just were talking about too. He hasn't left the pocket much tonight, and then he does see his big opening, and he really strikes at the best time. He had a lot of real estate in front of him.
Let's see if we can see on the replay here, brought to you by Dakota Land Federal Credit Union. He does have a lot of room up there, and you'll see it right at the end that there's your blocking there. I mean, just really sensational blocking. Give credit where credit is due. We'll see if they can bang home the extra point here to tie the game up with 7.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Freshman kicker to attempt the extra point. It's a high snap. Kicker gets it off, and it's good.
Noberpool's kick is good.
So it's going to be 14-14, 7 minutes and 37 seconds left in the first half here. I think if you're Washington, you feel like that you've been able to stick with Watertown, but Watertown's offense has really changed things up here. And are they going to continue to do that?
You know, it's just been the penalties for Watertown. I mean, they should have a lot of confidence hanging with a good Washington team. They just got to clean some things up. You know, they are really executing well. Washington's probably in the same boat. Few penalties, few big plays given up. This ball game's going to come down to the wire at this rate, and it's going to be a fantastic ball game. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I think it's as advertised. You know, you and I talked about it a lot today at work about how the Arrows can stick with the Warriors, and you know, not to get intimidated by the AAA team, you know, versus the AA team. And we thought we would see some, and we still can, but we thought we would see some explosive plays by Juven. But instead, right now, we're seeing explosive plays by Himrick and Briggs.
And that's what you want, you know.
Oh, for sure.
Let the Washington defense focus on some other guys.
What is your brother doing carrying his kid with a Brett Favre Minnesota Vikings jersey?
That is a bad look for him.
Taylor.
I think that was his mother's idea.
We're gonna have to talk to Taylor.
Blake Heiser there following behind him, another 2012 Watertown alum.
So a squib kick here by Washington. It's going to be fielded
at the 29.
You know, number 42 for the Arrows tried to roll over on top of that. That's Aaron Fishback, and it was cleaned up by whoever was behind him.
You think they've watched little films in? They don't want to kick off deep to our guys that return the ball pretty well?
Yeah, absolutely. And we did see that on film from Washington, too. I mean, they don't have any kind of traditional kickoff. They do that squib kick a lot. But what happens with that squib kick is those up men aren't used to receiving the ball like that, and every once in a while one can leak out, one can squeak out, and you know they can recover. So the Arrows are going to take over 1st and 10 on the 29, 7.5 minutes left in a tie game. Hemrick under center Hemrick in the shotgun. They're going to pass out to Juven in the flat. Juven's going to make the first guy miss, but he's going to be met by a couple more and thrown down to the ground. I do like to see the Arrows getting Juven involved in the flat like that.
Yeah, and especially if you're not going to get a lot going in the run game, just an extra element to his game. You know he's a good receiver. You know he can run after the catch well. Pick it up another 5 yards on 1st down.
We got 2nd down and 6, ball on the 33-yard line. Arrows under in huddle here as they break huddle. We see the 2 kickers for the Arrows, Riley Fisher and Tom Foley, right in front of us here talking strategy. Hopefully one of them can boot a field goal here to win the game for us in a couple quarters. Juven's going to take the ball this time right up the middle. He's going to bowl a guy over. He's going to pick up a few yards. It's going to bring up a 3 and 3rd and 4?
Yeah, I think so. So now it's, again, you know, how aggressive is Watertown going to be? Are they going to try to run the ball again to set up a 4th down if you have to, or are they going to try and take a shot where they've been successful tonight?
It's going to be interesting because I think Coach Hodorf is really mixing his play calling up tonight and kind of surprising all of us. You know, the last couple of weeks, I'd say what you're probably going to get here is Juven up the middle, but we're not, you know.
You got an extra tight end out there. I think they are going to, looks like they're going to pound it here.
Yeah, in an I formation with an extra tight end, like you said, and that's what we're going to see is Juven right up the middle. And he's going to be short.
Not even a half a yard. Well, now he moved back. Maybe a yard short. Yeah, that ref really moved off his spot.
Yeah, that's a long yard.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to go for it, looks like. They haven't sent the punter out yet.
It's going to be 4th and 3.
I'm going for it if I'm the Arrows.
Watertown's offense is staying on the field. This is a gutsy call here to go for it on. I mean, 4th and 3. That's a long 3 too.
I'm not always right, Sam, but I'm always pretty aggressive. I like
it too.
I like going for it.
I like it too. They're going to stay in the I formation with Wenches as the lead back and Juven as the back. They're going to hand it off to Juven right up the middle.
He got it easy.
Yeah, he got it. Great play. Right behind the right guard. Your right guard for your Arrows is Jaden Lambert, and on the right tackle is Carter Ingles.
A good block by Spencer Winches too.
Yeah, and Spencer up top, but that's a lot of beef there. That's 500 pounds.
Great block.
Great block by Winches.
Kicking out number 6 for Washington.
That replay brought to you by Dakota Land Federal Credit Union gives us a great view of Winches making that lead block.
That was a darn good view. Better than I can see up here even.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. So Watertown's going to go back to a shotgun. Trips left. Single man down on the bottom of the screen here with Juven to Hendricks right. Juven's going to pick up a block. It's going to leave number 7. Oh, are we going to get a flag? Yep, you bet we are. Good job. That's a great route by number 7, Mitch Olson, and a better flag by the referee, because what you can see on the replay here, you're going to see the Washington defender get his arm around the Arrow
Pass
receiver.
Interference on the defense, number 8. It's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot.
It's that
First
left
down.
arm that goes around the hip.
Clock starts with the snap.
And it slows him down.
I love the hitch and go call there for the Arrows. And I don't know if he quite gets to that ball. So Washington really barrels the Arrows out there. Pulling somebody's arm does slow him down quite a bit. So he definitely might have caught that in stride. But you love to see the Arrows really go for the kill shot there on the hitch and go and try to take a big shot.
I love the call, especially on 1st and 10, like you said. I love that call on 1st and 10 because, I mean, worst case, you go to 2nd and 10,
right.
you still have everything at your disposal.
Right.
So back to the I formation, sweep left to Juven. Juven's going to get around the tackle. He's going to lower his shoulder, bring home the bang, and pick up a few yards.
That was a violent run, Sam.
I believe the kids call that the hit stick, the truck stick on Madden.
It's one of the two.
I don't know. I'm too old for that.
He might want to rename it. That was a heck of a run.
You know, we've got some coworkers. Serena Berger, in our mortgage department. She plays a lot of Madden.
Does she?
She does. She does play a lot of Madden. Her and her husband Taylor, they play a lot of Madden. So she's probably sitting at home laughing at me right now because I don't know the difference between a hit stick and a truck stick. Regardless, Juven at top on the left. Hemrick's going to drop back to pass. He's got lots of time to find a wide open receiver.
Guess who?
And guess who that is? That's everybody's favorite. And you're going to get a flag on that for a late hit. And this is not good.
He'll get up, Sam. He'll get up.
He's down. That is a late hit, and they're calling for the medic right away. That was a scary hit. He had caught the ball. He was down, out of bounds. He was whistled, and he was slammed to the ground. And they were calling for the medic immediately.
The pass is complete at the end of the play. Personal foul on the defense, number 8, for a late hit out of bounds. Half the distance to goal. First down. Oh.
Yeah, I know the Arrows faithful are cheering right now, but if he's not able to return, that's a much bigger loss than that penalty.
Let's take a look at the replay here, and let's see if we can see the late hit. A great ball by Hemrick, and then here you see we go back to us. So Arrows are going to take over here. It's going to be 1st and goal at the 7. I didn't see if Nathan Briggs got up
Not yet.
or what happened.
Washington's getting a little upset. They're getting pretty chippy out there.
Yeah, Washington is getting a lot chippy, but I tell you what,
Yeah,
this is not the officiating crew that you want to do that with.
Well, I say the problem is the 15-yard flags are great for the Arrows. Losing somebody like Nathan Briggs in this game isn't worth an extra 50-yard penalty.
No, not at all, because all that Nathan Briggs has done for this offense tonight is 2 touchdowns.
He got 150 yards receiving.
Yeah, just
maybe not quite that
an
many.
incredible performance. So Hemrick's going to hand off to Juven here. Juven's going to go right, and he's going to be met by 2 guys. Juven's running really violent tonight.
He is.
I think there might be some talking going back and forth here between the 2 teams. I think Watertown is not happy with these 15-yard. We had unnecessary. Yeah, geez, that's not a good sight. Briggs is getting carted off. I can't tell. It's hard to see what the injury is. Does he have ice on his knee?
It doesn't look good, Sam.
No, that anytime that you see a young athlete or an old athlete, for that matter, get carted off, isn't good. It's especially not good when it was completely and totally unnecessary.
So that's the part of 15 yards doesn't do him much good if he's out the rest of the night.
Timeout. Watertown. Second of the half.
Watertown's going to take a timeout. We're going to join that timeout. This timeout brought to you courtesy of Dakota Land Federal Credit Union.
This is Nathan Lamb, class of '98, member of the 1996 state championship football team, and you're watching Watertown football on Arrow TV.
So we are back, and sadly, during commercial break, we saw Nathan Briggs get carted off, and he's going down to the field house here to get looked at. Recapping Briggs real quick: 3 catches, 108 yards, and 2 touchdowns. An incredible performance thus far. Hemrick's going to drop back. He's got some time. He's scanning, goes to the right, and a touchdown. Good guys.
That was big.
That was huge. That touchdown is number 7, Mitch Olson, 6'3", 165-pound junior with an all-hands catch.
He's going to have a big second half right now because the Arrows are going to need all the receivers to step up.
Great job by Hemrick, keeping his composure and scanning the field. He looked left, looked right, found Mitch Olson in the corner there. Touchdown, Arrows.
By far his best game of the year. He looks composed. He's delivering good balls. He's staying in the pocket, not forcing anything bad. He's looked great here tonight.
You know, the thing with Hemrick is that last year the Watertown Arrows leading touchdown passer had 2 touchdown passes for the season. He's got 3 tonight. Trayton Hemrick has got 3 in this game as the Arrows miss the extra point. So it's going to be 20-14 with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. The big story right now is the loss of Nathan Briggs.
Yeah, I can't emphasize enough. That 15 yards, that I know everybody celebrates when they see the flag come out, but it's you hold your breath and say, God, 15, 20, 40, even 50 yards isn't worth not having him in there.
No, it's nice to see that Mitch Olson stepped up right away on the same drive, made a fantastic hands catch there. That was all hands, no body, just like your coach. Did a really nice job, but again, the story is going to remain throughout this game. It's the late hits, the unnecessary roughness, the 15-yard penalties, and then now the injury that takes Nathan Briggs presumably out of the game.
We haven't even touched on the fact that he's a major defensive contributor, especially at cornerback, which is where Watertown needs to stay strong right now. I mean, that's as big a loss as it is as him at receiver.
Yeah, just a fantastic point by you there, Tyson. And I wonder if Coach Hodorf and the Arrows coaching staff is going to get together and say, okay, Jubin, now you got to go. You got to go play corner.
With 2 minutes to go in the half, I mean, you'd really like to think so. I mean, you know they're going to come out and throw the ball around here. Not going to have a lot of time to go down and score. So you're going to have to do something just a little different right now without Briggs.
Well, we'll see what happens here. The Arrows are going to kick off on the big foot of number 39, Tom Foley.
Had some good kicks tonight.
Yeah, it really has. The middle of the field just opened up there, and it closed real quick. So good job by the Arrows. Pretty decent field position for Washington. They're going to enter their 2-minute drive, their 2-minute offense, and see if they can put some points up on the board before the end of the half. So just to reset, it's 20-14, 2 minutes and 12 seconds left. Washington's going to take over, 1st and 10 on the 33. The big news remains number 3, Nathan Briggs, carted off. Arrows are going to take over on defense. And then now for the Arrows, number 16, Shea Coltrane comes limping off the field too. These are big injuries for the Arrows.
Yeah, we started at the start of the game. Now Watertown's depth is about to be tested here.
Absolutely. We do have Owen Sparts here and corner right by us here. They're going to send a guy in motion, and it's going to be trips left. The drop back to pass. He's going to roll right. And are we going to get an intentional grounding? Did they have anybody near him?
I just think because he was getting wrapped up, they're going to say he didn't have enough force to get it there where he was throwing it. But
there's no receiver anywhere near him.
Yeah, he was on that sideline, that far sideline.
The ball, to me, it looked like the ball was thrown at the feet of the lineman.
Beauchamp threw him like a rag doll.
Yeah, we could talk about that all day.
Said everybody gets one. He's not getting by Beauchamp again, but
boy, I don't know. I'd sure like to see that again, maybe when we watch film afterwards, because I don't know if there was a receiver in the vicinity on that play. I feel like he was just throwing it. Regardless, no penalty called. Trips left again. Here, drops back to pass. He's got a nice pocket to throw through. It's going to collapse here. He's going to roll towards us, and he's going to get met and tackled. And he's a little slow of getting up this time, too. He took a big shot there.
That's our guy, Peyton Bisker, week 1, making a nice tackle there.
Replay brought to you by Dakota Land Federal Credit Union here. We can see this. This is a big hit. Right here, he misses, and then a big man, number 78, falls on top of him. And that's Micah Hawk. I promise you that quarterback felt all of that 285 pounds landing on top of him.
Well, this is a huge play in the game, Sam. If you can get a nice quick stop here, just to stop on 3rd down and force a punt, you never know what Watertown's going to try.
Yeah, and I think this timeout here by Washington is to give the quarterback a little bit of breathing room. It would not surprise me at all if he got the wind knocked out of him a little bit after that big man fell on top of him.
I would too if a 275-pound man fell on my back. He ain't even close to done growing either.
No, absolutely not. Well, and then the quarterback made a good move of making, Bisker got just enough of him to slow him down, and he was going down. And then Micah said, I don't care if you're going down or not.
Those open field tackles could be so hard, though. Shout out to Peyton Bisker, just for him to change directions to get him to cut back, and he caught him. Then you get old Micah Hawk just to fall on him.
And talking about Peyton Bisker, I talked to his dad, Brian, a few weeks ago. This would be Peyton's 4th game of football that he's ever played. He took advantage of his senior year, came out and played football, and boy, he's really helping the Arrows here on homecoming.
Yeah, I told you after week 1 you just shocked me on that one too.
Absolutely.
Now let's see what the Arrows do here on the defense. I expect them to take a few steps back, keep everything in front of you here, just force a punt.
So just under a minute and a half left, 3rd and 10 on the 33. Back in shotgun, pocket collapses around him. He's got a lot of room in front of him. He's looking for the sideline, and he finds it. I think he's got it. Yeah, he's gonna get it. So 3rd and 10 converts to a 1st and 10. Some good scrambling there by number 9 for the Warriors, and that's Tommy Hoffman.
The glass half full there is they had them all covered downfield. They forgot about that slippery quarterback that snuck out of there. Again, it was what we saw a bit last week. That Arrow D-line, they just run through their pass rush, and they don't quite have any gap integrity then. That quarterback steps up, and he's able to squeak through.
Shotgun pass, pockets there, throwing deep. Turn your head, young man.
Oh my God.
No.
What a catch.
What an absolutely sensational catch by number 12 for the Warriors,
Thrown in a perfect
Pierce
spot, too.
DeMarco. How many times are we going to call that young man's name tonight? Look at this replay brought to you by Dakota Land Federal Credit Union. Nice pocket, steps up, throws a nice ball, great coverage, sticks his paw out there, bounces right to him. Touchdowns, that's the way the ball bounces.
Sometimes you got to take your hat off to a team like that. Was a heck of a throw and catch. The throw was perfect. Right on the spot, receiver just puts his arm out and he gets a nice lucky bounce, and you'll take those in a football game.
You know, you will. It was great coverage by the Arrows. It was a great ball by the Warriors, and an even better catch by the Warriors.
Still got a minute 9 here. We'll see how aggressive the Arrows are going to be. They've been aggressive all night. I expect them to take a couple shots here.
So we've got a minute 9 left. Arrows are trailing 1 after the missed extra point. However, they do have a timeout left, and it's really easy to get clock stoppage in high school football.
It is. Every first down that clock stops. The way they're throwing the ball tonight, even though Briggs isn't in there, don't have a whole lot to lose by throwing it up. Even if you have to punt, there's not going to be a whole lot of time left on that clock. So, just the way that Coach Hordoff has been, I expect him to be aggressive here.
Yeah, I agree. The other thing to keep in mind here with a minute and 8 seconds left is you can get a 2-for-1. You can score at the end of the first half, and then you get the ball back at the start of the second half. So there's your 2-for-1.
Right. If you know, by chance this is a bad return, you know, for once, that would be different considering you're getting the ball. But I'd like to see a big return here. Give yourself a real chance to get going, get going here that last minute 9, and maybe go get some points on the board.
Who we got back there? Is that Scott back there?
It's usually Sparks. He's at the up back. I don't think it's definitely.
Well, Briggs is normally back there too, but obviously.
Is it 41? I can tell it's a 4.
It's a 4. I can't tell if it's 41 or 42.
Back deep is 42, Aaron Fishback.
It is 42.
Legendary Nick Krantz tells us it's Aaron Fishback. We'll go with him. Not that it matters because
it's
going right to the up guy.
This is a good return already.
This is a great return.
There, it is 41 that had it the whole time.
It's Scott. It's Lincoln Scott.
He must have heard us saying we wanted 41 back to the return, and he took it anyway.
That's a great adjustment by the Arrows, knowing that they're kicking these squib kicks, that they're kicking short. So instead of a big guy up there, they say, no, we are going to put number 41, Lincoln Scott, the freshman, scat back with a sensational return.
And you talk about not handling the ball much. He got it, was looking at the end zone.
For sure.
He wasn't going to get down or just get 2 or 3 yards here. He wanted to take that one all the way back. So now you know the Arrows going to be aggressive and trying to get some points on the board.
I wonder if we'll see more of Scott with the loss of Briggs.
He just looks like a linebacker to me. I mean, he's good at some of the deepest positions the Arrows have is probably the biggest problem.
Juven goes right up the middle, taking down a good gain. A lot of time left here.
Yep.
No need to panic. Get the call in. Calls are coming in from the OCs. Arrows get back to the line real quickly. Everybody's understanding the play. Hemrick's got Juven to his right, takes the snap. He's dropping back to pass. He's got a nice pocket, throws a dart over the middle. Not sure if that was intended for number 4, if that was number 10 or number 7. They were kind of on top of each other. Regardless, it's an incomplete pass. There's 37 seconds left. It's a manageable 3rd and 5. If you're the Arrows here, what do you dial up?
That crossing routes is okay, but they've been really good on those deep balls, those fade jump balls. I know Briggs isn't in there, but Mitch Olsen is as tall as anybody on that field, so maybe they look to come down here to the short side of the field. They're looking and talking right now, so that's where I'm going to say they're going.
Yeah, Mitch Olsen lines up right in front of us in the bottom of the field with number 4 in motion, who's going to go up to the top on the left side.
He's by himself.
He's got single coverage. Hemrick's looking that way. He's scrambling that way, but he doesn't have time, and he gets pushed out of bounds with 32 seconds left in the first half.
You know, nothing wrong with that play there. That's when he could probably throw up and get away with, just with it being 3rd and long. You're going to punt anyway, but that's maybe a ball you can take the chance of just throwing up. Even if they pick it off 20, 30 yards downfield, it's just a punt.
Yeah,
or at the very least, slide down and bounce, let that clock kind of trickle down.
It's tough rolling out to your right, and then trying to throw 30, 40 yards down the field. I don't disagree with you. I mean, if worst case scenario, if it does get picked off, it's a long punt. There's 30 seconds left.
We were not set.
That's on us?
Yeah.
So 31 seconds left here. 4th and 13, 21-20.
Before the snap, false start on the offense. Not all the players were set. 5-yard penalty. Replay 4th down.
It's a false start when it gets called on the entire team.
Yeah, one guy came running on the field a little bit late, and I don't think the long snapper got the message. So
class of 1999, Tim Brown walking in front of us here. Always good to see him. Fun fact about Tim Brown, he is Watertown's only Buffalo Bills fan.
There's a reason for that.
Punt is off and it's away. It's a good one. It's going to get a decent Watertown bounce. It's going to go to the 23, 24, 23. Oddly enough, 23 seconds left. Now, when you think of the number 23, who do you think of?
MJ.
Of course.
Who else is there?
Nobody.
Yeah.
That number should be retired across all of sports.
Couldn't agree with you more.
The GOAT.
Well, now you like to see Watertown just getting a little bit more of a prevent defense here and just keep everything in front of you. I don't think their kicker has some monster leg that I'm not aware of.
When you think of a monster leg, would you think of Jake Elliott?
More Justin Tucker.
Well, whomever you think of, you don't think of him being here on this field tonight.
No, so just give it, I said.
The last thing that you can do here if you're Watertown, you cannot allow any points.
And the Arrows looks like cover 4, they got 4 guys deep, backpedaling at the snap.
Yeah, and they're going to drop back deep. He's going to get wrapped up in the dirt. Wrapped up in the dirt by who else? The captain. Number 67, your captain and mine,
Mr. Beauchamp. Like I said, he got that first one on him the first time. Now you know how fast he is, kind of how slippery he is. You make an adjustment as a player, you send us to halftime.
Okay, so sending us to halftime is going to be an interview with our very own Katie Liederbrand. Take us away, Katie.
Yeah.
welcome back to the field your Watertown Arrow Marching Band to perform their halftime show, Star Wars. Drum majors for tonight are Kylie Hansen, Grace Remmers, and Joshua Thorson. The percussion instructor is Garrett Buchanan. Color guard instructor is Brenda Ingalls, and our director for tonight is Austin Fordham. The show is going to open with Star Wars main theme, Race Theme, followed by Imperial March. Then the drum line will bring us back to Earth with Heavy Metal Jam before the show concludes with the Jedi Steps and finale. Welcome the Watertown Arrow Marching Band.
This is me talking. Hey, we're doing interviews out here today at the football game. And what's your name?
Jenna Didi.
What do you think of the game so far?
It's pretty hype, and it's really fun to be out here with the royalty tonight.
I definitely agree. Who do you think is going to win the game tonight?
Definitely the Arrows.
That's a good answer.
All right, we're done. Thank you.
Perfect.
Okay.
At this time, we'd like to recognize our Watertown Athletics Hall of Fame inductees. More information on each inductee can be found in tonight's game program. Our first two contributors are two medical professionals, Dr. Clark Lickness and Dr. Ed Garish. These two doctors provided medical coverage for Arrows and for state tournaments hosted in Watertown for the past 35 years. Both have received numerous awards based on their generosity of giving back to their community and expecting nothing in return. We are grateful for the medical services they provided to so many of our Arrow students, Dr. Clark Lickness and Dr. Ed Gary. Our next inductee is an athlete, Craig Austin, for the class of 1978. Craig was a standout football player and also lettered in basketball and track. He also is proud to share that he played the lead role of Conrad Birdie in the school musical Bye Bye Birdie. Craig went on to have a standout college football career and was selected in the 1982 NFL draft by the Seattle Seahawks. In 2011, Craig was inducted into the USD Athletic Hall of Fame. Our inductee, Craig Austin, with the class of 1978. Our next athlete is Kristen Rector Grice, class of 1993. Kristen participated in track, volleyball, and basketball. She was a state place finalist in discus and shot put and was an all-state selection in basketball and volleyball. In 1992, she was selected to the all-tournament team at the girls' state basketball tournament. Please welcome Kristen Rector Grice. Our next athlete is Brittany Page Kuiper, class of 2008. Nicknamed White Lightning, Brittany was a standout track athlete for the Arrows, who went on to have a fantastic career running at North Dakota State University. She was a four-time state champion and gold medal winner, which means she had the fastest time in all classes in the 100, 200, 400, and the 4x4 relay. She set 3 state track records and currently holds 5 Watertown High School track records. In 2004, she was named the Outstanding Female Track Athlete for all of Class AA. Please welcome Brittany Page Kuiper. Our next athlete is Josh Olson with the class of 2003. Josh was a letter winner and co-captain in football, basketball, and track. In 2002, he was selected as the All-State receiver and named to the Argus Leader Elite 45. He was a state champion in 2003 in the 400-meter dash and runner-up in the 200 long jump relay and mile relay. He currently holds the ESD and Watertown High School record in the long jump at 23 feet 1 1/4 inches. Josh continues his track career as a member of the USD track and field team. Please welcome Josh Olson, the class of 2003. The program to induct these athletes and contributors is going to be at the Ramcota Inn tomorrow at 12 noon for the social. The meal begins at 12:30 and the program at 1 p.m. Tickets are on sale at the door for $25. Please congratulate this year's Watertown High School Hall of Fame inductees.
My favorite part of homecoming was performance skits, friends, and the homecoming.
My name's Carly Schulte, and my favorite part of homecoming week was caravanning.
My name's Allison Paul, and my favorite part about homecoming is caravanning.
My name's Caitlin Rudebush, and my favorite thing about homecoming this week was caravanning.
Woo! Arrows!
Okay, and after a festive halftime performance by the Watertown Band, getting some Hall of Fame inductees in, we are back at it. So just about 2.5 minutes to kick off. So Tyson, quickly recap the first half.
You know, heck of a first half by both teams. Really great start to the game. Offense started fast for Watertown. Then Washington answered right back, and it's basically been a neck-and-neck ball game the whole time. Interesting to see how both teams kind of changed up here going forward if they stick to their guns and stay with what they're doing. But I expect Watertown to keep scoring points. I expect Washington to keep scoring some points. Haven't seen Washington do as much of that dive run game up the middle as they did at the start because the pass game has been successful. So I expect them to stick with that a little bit more, similar to what Yankton did last week when they kind of got a feel for that pass game. They stuck with it. This quarterback from Washington, he's been electrifying when he takes off with the ball. I expect to see more of that. So hopefully the Arrows receivers can step up if Bisker's out and
let's highlight
Briggs.
Briggs. Let's highlight number 9 Hoffman for Washington. He's got 10 attempts, 3 incomplete passes, so he's 7 of 10 for 190 yards, not 1 but 2 touchdown passes. And not to mention he had the long scramble.
So that rush was really, I think, the killer for the Arrows.
Yeah, the scramble he had was what, 30 yards?
34 yards.
Yeah, 30. Yeah, there he is right there. So 34-yard touchdown. So on top of the 190 yards passing and the 2 touchdowns on 7 of 10, super efficient. You know, he's backed it up with 4 carries for looks like 50 yards and a touchdown. Runs a 4, 34, and 12.
I did expect this to be more of a lower scoring game, just with the style of how solid both defenses have been in that run game for the Arrows. I expected the Arrows defensive line to play good against the Warrior run game, but it looks like they've kind of switched off that strategy. They're starting to throw the ball around more, so might see another big second half. But Watertown does need to get that secondary cleaned up here a little bit if they plan on staying in this game to the end.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Juven's got 13 carries for 40 yards. He hasn't found the end zone quite yet. The end zone was dominated for Watertown's touchdowns by Nathan Briggs. 3 catches for 108 yards, 2 touchdowns, catches of 56, 28, and 24. And speaking of Juven Hudson is deep on this kick return.
Gonna try to start this half with a bang, Sam.
Well, we'll see what Washington does. If Washington continues to do the squib-style kick or if they're going to kick it deep. If they're going to kick it deep, be careful because Juven Hudson's back there.
I don't see our guy, Lincoln Scott, in the middle of the field.
Well, as we start the second half here, both teams are ready to go. Washington's under, and here we go. We're underway, and they're going to go right down the middle. They're going to go on that short pooch kick. It's going to be fielded, bounced around a little bit. That's Scott right there. Scott takes the guy all the way down to about the 28, 29-yard line.
He went in a different position on the return. He still found a way to get his hands on the ball.
Yeah, geez, that's just a phenomenal athlete. So 11 minutes, 51 seconds left, just starting the second half here. Arrows down by 1. Arrows been able to move the ball pretty well. Washington has been able to answer every time. It's kind of like a heavyweight fight. Both teams standing in the middle of the ring, exchanging punches. We'll see who stands.
Yeah, again, with the loss of Briggs here, do we see the Arrows go on that kind of on the attack right away to send a message, or do they go back to that run game?
Yeah, I formation. They do go back to the run game. This time it's behind the left side.
Hudson off the right side to the 32-yard line, gain of 5.
And pick up 5. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 5, and I think we're going to see that. I think they want to go back to that ground and pound, but what that'll do is it'll open it up.
You'll have to, as this game kind of wears on. Juven's going to get stronger. He hasn't had a lot of carries, almost like we're used to seeing from him, so they will lean on him in the second half.
So they're going to go back to the traditional I formation. Wenches at the fullback spot. Juven the back runner, the H back. And they're going to hand off, and this time they're going to go right. Juven's going to make a couple guys miss. Juven Hudson is super fast, and look at him go. What another great tackle by number 4, though, to chase him down. Typically, when we see Juven bust out like that and get to the sideline, normally he isn't caught from behind, but Hayden Schilling did a great job of chasing him down and getting him.
Yeah, the sophomore, like you said, very rarely do we see Juven get caught in space.
During the run, holding on the offense, number 9. It's a 10-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
It's going to come back on a holding on Austin Johnson. I did not see the hold on that.
Yeah, I didn't even see the flag. I missed that one.
I got too excited as soon as Juven hit the sideline. But props to number 4 for Washington. Curious to see what that young man's 40 is.
Yeah, he was moving.
Sophomore, 5'10", 170 pounds.
Probably a good thing Juven didn't score. It would have been more deflating if he had to come all the whole 70 yards back.
Yep. So it's going to be 2nd and 15 here.
Wipes out his biggest carry of the night, too.
Yep, arrows go back to the I formation again. Seems to be working pretty well for him. This time they're going to hand off to Juven again, and this time he's going to pick up a couple, but it's going to bring up a 3rd and long.
3rd and 8 here. They're going to have to drop back and pass. We'll see. We'll see if they go back to those deep fade route approach, and just see if they just start throwing it up again.
With Briggs out, they can still lean on number 7, Mitch Olson. Cohen Krantz has proved to be a formidable receiver, good hands, good possession guy. So they can lean on him. You can hit Juven on a screen or in a flat. I'm gonna with Olson here at the bottom on the right side here. I think and single coverage. Safety's going to dip back over top, number 4. Hemrick's going to lean that way, and he's just going to throw it away. It's really good coverage again by Washington, because what Hemrick saw exactly what we saw. He had single coverage on Olson, which he wants, but then number 4, the safety who we called earlier, was lingering in there and came over a little delayed, and it messed up the route completely, and it threw Hemrick off.
Right, and again, good on his part. Instead of just run out of bounds and throw it away.
Yep.
2 weeks ago, he throws that back into the middle of the field and throws into some trouble. So you see the maturity of him week after week as well.
Yep, agreed. So 10 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Wench is going to drop back to punt. Only 2 minutes comes off the clock there, so not a overly productive. Oh boy, we got a shanked punt there. So Washington's going to start over with great field position, right about at the 50-yard line. Wenches is hanging his head. He's good, though. There's still plenty of time. He's going to have an opportunity to make up for it here on defense.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have to see him make up for it in the punt game. We don't have to do that the rest of the night.
I don't see Juven out there. I don't see Simon out there, and I don't see Briggs out there. But you know who I do see out there? Micah Hawk.
Mr. Beauchamp.
And Mr. Beauchamp. So Washington's going to go with trips left this time. One guy on the bottom here by himself. Boy, a great jump off the ball by the Arrows and able to stuff him let's get right back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe a yard loss. Is that Wenches in on that?
Yeah, Watertown's defensive line just in the whole front 7 hasn't given up a whole lot all year. I don't foresee it taking long for Washington just to kind of get back into that drop back pass game and just see if you can stop them.
We'll see if, it's 2nd and 11. There's a lot of different things that Washington can do here. I wonder if Watertown's going to bring some blitz here, bring some of those linebackers and try to pressure the quarterback. Quarterback has had a very efficient game, a lot of yards, a lot of completions.
Now is Winch is going to come now that the motion's away from him. Yeah, he is.
And then again, another good read by the quarterback for Washington. We keep calling his name over and over, Tommy Hoffman. He's making quick, fast reads and making smart decisions with the ball. and is really moving the ball nicely. He has been all night.
You see number 18, Chase Woods, get the catch, and then he slips too. You know that. You can tell that grass has affected him a little bit, not something they're exactly used to playing on.
So I wonder if this is something, shame on me, I should have asked the coaches that, typically when you play, you wear different shoes on grass different cleats on grass than what you do on turf. So I wonder if these young men are wearing turf shoes or if they're wearing traditional cleats.
I'm curious if they have grass that they can practice on even. I'm just not sure what their setup is like.
So yeah, another quick, decisive decision by the quarterback. A step or two back, and then throws a dart on a 5-yard out, and he's wide open.
Yeah, we talk about those quick slants, those quick outs. That's kind of Washington's MO in their passing game, and they're executing right now. Watertown's gonna have to come up with a stop. I mean, it's just the momentum. You said you can just feel it. Ever since Briggs got hurt, it's just slowly going out of their favor right now. They're gonna have to do something big to kind of get it back in their own.
And like I said, I wonder with the loss of Briggs, the loss of Simon, the loss of Juven, can they play? And nobody knows that better than the coaches for the Arrows, and there's a reason why they're not in there. So good stop by Watertown. Looks like another Arrow is down. So it looks like number 9, Austin Johnson.
He's met by a number of Arrows in the backfield. Leading the charge was number 17, Marcus Pitkin.
Yeah, number 9, Austin Johnson for the Arrows is down. Good camera work again by our on-field ladies here. So Johnson looks like maybe a stinger. Thankfully, he's going to get up on his own.
It looks like he'll be back in the game.
A loss of a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 11 for the
replay. Brought to you by Dakota Land Federal Credit Union here.
Arrow 28.
Yeah, and you can see incidental contact there at the end, and kind of whipped Austin's head around a little bit. So hopefully it's just a stinger.
Now you got Washington behind the 6. If you're the Arrows, here's where you got to capitalize.
So back in the shotgun, looking over to his right. He's looking for number 2 on the hook. Yep, there. Ball was just underthrown. He had him.
Yeah.
As soon as he went out on the out, then he went up.
That was a good route. As soon as that cornerback looked back at the quarterback, that receiver turned it up.
Thankfully for the Arrows, the ball, one of the only throws that the Washington quarterback has made tonight that wasn't on target. Thankfully for the Arrows, that one's thrown a little underneath, and the separation by the corner was able to knock it down.
Yeah, now 3rd and 11 here. I don't know how long of a field goal kicker, how long they're going to attempt, but need a big stop here if you're the Arrows.
So trips to the top there on the right, drops back to pass. He's looking that way, goes over the middle again, and this time he hits number 2, who's going to be Jacob Cruz.
First down
for a Warrior first down. I tell you what, the number 9 kid for the Warriors, Tommy Hoffman, 6'1" junior. Speaking my truth, what I saw on film wasn't overly impressive, but what I'm seeing with my own eyes in person is awfully impressive.
He's just been sticking to the game plan all night. When it's not open, he's taken off and he's made big plays, and he's been able to hang in that pocket and hit guys once they finally come open. I mean, he's been doing a great job tonight.
Yeah, he really has. As number 2 goes back, and this time they're going to have 3 to the right, and they're going to go down to the bottom. Inaccurate throw there. That time it's off a little bit. This time intended for number 18, Jace Woods. It's a solid name. It's a good football name. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 10. And again, if you're Washington, you can really do whatever you want here. I got to believe you're in field goal position here.
I think they hit a field goal from here when I watched that. I think it was the Rapid City game. So they're definitely, I would say, in range right now. Which, for Washington, then just pin your ears back and hold the 3 if you can.
Trips right. Arrows coming in on a blitz, and they're going to roll over to that side. He's going to run right into the blitz. He's going to throw it away. Smart decision. Throw it away. Doesn't take the sack.
Good play by Bisker. Stay on your feet.
Yep,
run him out of bounds.
Yeah, and this time the coverage by the Arrows was really good.
Yeah, so now it's kind of like it's been on all these 3rd and longs. You got to just stick with your guys, and if you have everyone guarded, you can't just let number 9 take off and run out of the pocket and pick up a first down. Maybe put a spy on and drop into a zone coverage here because it's a lot of crossing routes.
Yeah, there is a lot of crossing routes over the middle, but we've also seen the long bombs. But in this particular case, where you're at in the field inside the red zone, you don't have to worry about those long shots.
we'll see what the Arrows have here. You know, they're going to probably bring Winches off the edge again. It's a guess here. We'll see what they do. Number 22 on this outside linebacker closest to us. But I got to imagine they're going to bring a fourth guy from somewhere. It's going to be Winches.
2 on the top, 2
Run
on the
him
bottom.
down.
They're going to run right to his right. Wenches is chasing him down, throws over the
Nice
middle,
play.
and a great pass defended. I didn't quite catch the number. Jumped right in front of him and got just enough on him to either knock it down or distract the receiver from catching it.
Play number 4, Jeremiah Schulte.
See if we got replay here brought to you by Dakota Land Federal Credit
86?
Union. We should be able to see here who knocked that ball away. Yeah, it was number 4.
Oh.
Yeah, so number 4 for the Arrows is Jeremiah Schulte. Great play by him. Great individual effort. It's going to be about 4th and 10. This is big for everybody.
Want that crowd to get going here.
Yeah, get the crowd going. Get them hyped up. It's good.
Arrows players are begging for it. It looks like they're going for it right now.
Yeah, they are going for it on a 4th and 10, and I think it's a good call by Washington to go for it. So you drop back to pass. The pocket's clean. He's got a man. He's going on the right side and just overthrows him.
Huh.
I wonder if there was a miscommunication there by the quarterback and the receiver, because it looked like the ball was thrown behind him. And replay brought to you by Dakota Land Federal Credit Union should show us there. So yeah, the ball's thrown behind him, so I'm not sure if there was a miscommunication or if maybe the quarterback for Washington was throwing to a spot.
You know in his mind that clock is ticking down, and you got to throw it on 4th down. You can't afford to get sacked. So
right.
I guess I was most surprised that they didn't attempt a field goal there. But if you're the Arrows, you'll take it.
You know, 100% you will. However, I'm not overly surprised they haven't, because they've been able to move the ball really well.
Yeah.
And especially coming out of the first half, they moved it 35 yards. But regardless, Juven's going to get the ball here. This time he's going to go to his left. He's going to make a guy miss. He's going to hit the sideline. He's got 4 guys in front of him. A great drive start for an Arrow first down.
And there are no flags on the field, Sam.
Well, thank goodness, because I'm glad you were looking, because I wasn't. I seem to keep missing
Little
them.
PTSD from his last long run. I was just looking in the backfield the whole time.
Yeah, a great stiff arm there to evade the first tackle, and then he picks up many yards after contact, in which that's what Juven does.
This is really the first time I felt the momentum swing back into Watertown's favor. You get the crowd into a little bit. Now you start off with a big run play. Going to have to capitalize on this drive.
So I formation right in front of us here. Juven right down the middle and met by a slew of Warrior defenders.
Yeah, the Warriors defense knows when Juven gets rolling, he's tough to stop, so you got to try to put him down as fast as you can.
Yeah, typically, and we've seen it all year, typically you're not going to bring Juven down with one guy. You know, we talked to Washington coach at the beginning before the game started, Coach Evans, and Coach Evans was nice enough to give us some time, and he told us that. He said, there's just no way you're going to get Juven Hudson down with one arm. They got to really get on top of him and tackle him with 4 or 5 guys.
Right. There was a lot of hats to the ball. That was a good gang tackle by the Warriors defense.
For sure. So Juven this time is going to swing out to his right. Hemrick swings out to his right, goes with him, and he's got number 7. That's going to be Mitch Olson. Going to be just short of the first down.
Now, this was the play that they ran earlier when Hemrick got sacked. This time, Juven's able to seal that edge, let the quarterback get out and around, have time to hit his receiver. Much better job by Juven.
Yeah, Juven, and we saw it after that last time that, Coach Hordorf, coached him up, told him that he really needs to seal that edge, move his body, and allow Hemrick to come around and then square up and make a nice throw, and that's exactly what he did.
If you're going to miss him, let him miss inside, and he can go chase the quarterback. You can't have him get outside and set that edge. So now you get that 3rd and short, and it looks like they're going to go back to the ground and pound game here.
Yeah, I think we all know what's coming. Let's see if the Arrows can execute. This
Power.
time to the right side on the power, and they do. They pick up enough for an Arrow first down.
Left guard, I don't know if that was Caden Beauchamp, but the left guard pulled around there. I'm used to it being Jade Lambert on that pulling guard, but guard came around and helped blow that hole up.
With Caden Beauchamp being 6'4", 215 pounds, he's very nimble. He's athletic. He doesn't move like a 6'4", 215-pound kid.
I've had the pleasure of being around him on multiple instances, and he doesn't seem 215 to me. He definitely moves well for if that is his actual weight.
Sure. So back to the I formation, and this time it's going to play action. Squares his body, throws and finds an open guy, and that's number 22, Winches, who makes a guy miss, makes another guy miss, goes down the sideline for an Arrow touchdown.
You don't see the fullback get out in the on the route very often.
Just fantastic. He makes one guy miss, and then he shows his athleticism. Not bad for a fullback / punter.
All during film and all week in practice, he'd say, hey, coach, remember I got some good hands. You can throw me a few more passes if you want.
Here we'll see the replay brought to you by Dakota Land Federal Credit Union. A great job by Hemrick. Finds him in the flat, lays a nice ball up over the top, and then, Wenches just really does the rest. Makes a guy miss there. Gets a great block by Mitch Olson at the tail end of that there, and then celebrates in.
They are going to go for 2 to try and get back that extra point they missed earlier, it looks like.
So let's see what they do here. I wonder if this will be more Juven ground and pound. So they're going to hand off to Juven. Juven's going to go on the right side. I don't think he got in.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah, boy, he got stood up right at the goal line there. I didn't see who from Washington hit him, but whoever from Washington stood him up, that's a
heck of a form tackle.
Yes, absolutely. That's not easy to do.
Full head of steam to stand him up is impressive.
Yep, absolutely. So 26-21, 4 minutes and 49 seconds left here. 4 minutes and 50 seconds left here. Arrows take the lead on a receiving touchdown by number 22, Wenches, of 45 yards.
I would put money on that's a career long reception and.
Yeah, that's impressive. So speaking of impressive, we haven't really talked about Trayton Hemrick a whole lot here. All Trayton Hemrick has done today is attempted 12 passes, completed 8 of them for 210 yards. Not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 passing touchdowns from Trayton Hemrick.
Yeah, this is, like I said, this is by far the best game he's played. He's been composed. He's stayed in the pocket. He's delivered some good balls. His receivers have made great plays on the balls. Whether or not Washington scores here on this next drive, he's going to go back out with some confidence, looking to either add on or take that lead back.
Yeah, absolutely. And here right in front of us before kickoff, we're seeing the leadership of the captain, Caden Beauchamp, going around to all his teammates, smacking them in the chest, pounding them on the shoulder pads, getting everybody hyped to go back on defense. As the kick takes him into the dirt, fielded cleanly and ran right up the gut here, and a great open field tackle by number 28 for the Watertown Arrows.
Mr. Decker.
And that's going to be Caden Decker. Great special teams tackle.
Just Mr. Consistent out there.
Yeah, really nice job there.
He's not the flashiest guy on the Arrows team, but he's always doing his job.
Yeah, did a really nice job there of wrapping up, nice form tackle, and making the tackle and saving a big gain. So again, the Arrow players are looking over to the stands and throwing their hands up, asking the crowd to get behind them. Can't see how the student section's doing, but
those corners and safeties, they're playing tight on the Washington receivers. I'm just waiting to see if they're going to take another deep shot here, but they're going back to that run game.
Yep, they're going to go back to the run game, and he's going to counter towards the right side. It was heavy formation on the left, but doesn't gain much.
I love the confidence of the Arrows as the defensive backs to play up on those receivers to kind of try to stop out those quick routes, those slants, those outs. But you have no help behind you. So if they take it vertical, you got to stay on top of them.
Well, so the Arrow secondary has to be disciplined here,
right? Because
we've seen time after time that Tommy Hoffman can beat you short and can beat you deep.
Right.
So see what he does here. This time it looks like they've got 2 wide receivers on the left. Got a big man in motion there to help clear the path and protect. Little screen pass out to the top of the screen there. That's going to be enough for a first down. Good execution there. It doesn't feel like much when you're just stepping back and throwing a ball across the field like that. But good blocking upfield, good read, good execution. Another Warrior first down.
Again, it's what they do. They get the ball quick. Now they're going quick.
Yeah, geez, and don't blink, Tyson, because here we go again. Ooh, it looked like a little bit of a lean by the halfback there.
There it is again.
Yeah, there's that seam route. Right up the seam, right up the middle of the field. Another good hands catch, this time by number 8.
That's Chase again.
Yeah, number 18, Jace Woods.
Jace.
Yep, Jace Woods.
I think it's, maybe it is Jace Woods.
Yep, Jace.
Yeah, he's probably been his Hoffman's favorite target tonight. He's liking that one-on-one matchup.
Yeah, so this time they hand off here, and good job of running by number 11 for Washington, and that's going to be Mason Wilson.
He's got good balance. He's not easy to take down in his own right.
No, he's really not.
He stays low to the ground and he keeps his feet turning.
So 3 minutes left, and Washington's moving quickly. Back to that seam route, and he had him.
Yeah, Woods is upset that ball didn't end up in his hands. It's just a little out in front of him, and he walks in if he gets it to him.
Yeah, I mean, there is nobody behind him. There is nobody in front of him.
Yeah.
If that ball is 100% accurate, that's 100% a touchdown.
For Sparks, that's a lonely feeling right now. You're out on that island by yourself. You got a lot of moves you can make as a receiver to get around you, so you just got to do his best to stay sticky on him.
Yeah, and that's hard to do. I mean,
it is.
Being on an island by yourself as a high school football player and trying to, and now the crowd's really getting back into it.
Third down.
On 3rd and 5. Let's see if the Arrows can get a stop.
Watch that quarterback here.
Yeah, and it goes short again, and this time the open field tackle is
he's
made
close.
By,
he's
made
really
by number 20, Cole Hansen. I think he got it.
I think he's short. No, he did get it.
Yeah, I think he got it. You know, the play calling by Washington, I feel like has been better in the second half than it was in the first half.
I love how simple the game plan is for them.
Yep.
You know, it's quick, it's easy, it's slants, it's hitches, it's outs. They stick to what they do. They don't really veer off. If you're going to give them a 6 or a 5 yard hitch route in 3rd and 5, they're going to take it all day.
Yeah, they're really being methodical as they're doing this. Again, we're not able to see them move the ball on the ground very much.
Right.
But they are moving the ball in the air. And as they drop back and pass, this time he looks to his right. He's going to get fouled up and fumble.
Uh-oh.
Are we going to get a fumble here? Are we going to get a turnover? You bet we are. That's the first down for the Watertown Arrows.
I thought the ball came out, but it was very close.
Was that Hawk that caused the fumble?
I think he caused it and he picked it up.
That's number 65. That's Jaden Lambert.
My pulling guard, my favorite pulling guard.
So the officials are going to get together, and it is going to be a Watertown Arrows first down. Let's look at the replay brought to you by Dakota Land Federal Credit Union. He's going to come unscathed. And for Washington there, the quarterback is just holding the ball out there. When that big man's coming on you, you really got to protect it, but that's a tough play to make.
And Jaden Lambert's defense, too. He got there extremely quick, but
yes.
Yeah, that ball wasn't being held extremely tight by that quarterback.
Coaches are going to say all the time, whether you're in junior high or in the NFL, it's ball security. And speaking of ball security.
Yeah, now Juven almost gave it back. Yeah, he was down, but he almost gave it back.
Yeah, another big hit by number 50 for Washington. And that's going to be Miles Igatase. And I know I butchered that, so I'm super sorry, but an impressive hit. So recapping here, 1:30 left in the 3rd quarter. Arrows fortunate to get out of any kind of scoring from Washington there.
Right.
So 2nd and 11.
I'd love to see there's some play action here or a screen. Washington's kind of pinning their ears back now. Try to use that against them if you can.
Let's see what happens here as Hendrickson shotgun, drop back to pass. He's going to step up in the pocket a little bit, move over. And dangerous throw. Dangerous throw. Knocked down.
You're lucky that falls incomplete. That's been Hemrick's probably worst decision of the night.
Yeah, Lane Knutson just stepped right in that lane, got 2 hands on it.
All that matters is he didn't catch it, though.
Yeah. So. Well, they say that all a corner is a wide receiver that has a hard time catching.
Thank God he dropped that one.
But a great play on that by that young man nonetheless, gets in front of it, does a good job knocking it down. It's going to set up a 3rd and 11 for the Arrows. I wish that the Arrows were able to complete that pass to keep the clock moving.
Right.
You know, because it's just what we don't want to do is we don't want to give this this explosive or methodical Washington offense the ball back.
Now again, Mitch Olson's at the top. I want to see where that safety rolls. Watertown's going to take a timeout.
Timeout, Watertown Arrows.
Okay, the Arrows are going to take a timeout. We're going to take a timeout, too, to get a quick bottle of water. Timeout brought to you by Dakota Land Federal Credit Union.
I'm Trent Herrick, and you're watching Arrow Football on Arrow TV.
And just like that, in the nick of time, we're back.
Let's see what the Arrows dial up here. I mean, if you call a timeout like that, you must have something up your sleeve. I'm hoping, or unless something was just set up wrong on the offense. But again, top of the formation here. Mitch Olsen's by himself. Now the safety's going to roll over with the motion, though.
So Henrik's going to drop back. Yeah, and there is the screen, and it's going to be okay, wow. There's a lot going on in that play. So first of all, I like the play call screen. We haven't seen a whole lot of that. Juven does a good job of making not one guy miss, not two guys. But then kudos to Washington because there's two more to swallow him up just as soon as he makes the two guys miss.
Number 44, Eli Trugg, ended up getting him down. But, yeah, he did make two guys miss. I would have loved to have seen that play call on second down. Sure. Third down, it seems like they're a little bit more, especially coming off the timeout, a little bit more ready for it and set up for it. But, again,
we'll see how much time Watertown takes off the clock here. Not much. They're going to go ahead and punt. Much better punt than last time. Let's see if we get a good Watertown roll there. I might take it all the way down to about the 23-yard line. So great punt by Spencer Wenches.
You know, when you catch a 45-yard touchdown, you know, you just have a little confidence going. You hit the punt a little better, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So 19 seconds left, 26-21, Watertown over Sioux Falls, Washington. Washington will take over 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. So the last drive, Washington had the ball. They moved the ball methodically down the field. 4-yard passes, 5-yard passes. Watertown made some good tackles to keep them to 4- and 5-yard passes. But Watertown's got to figure out a way to stop those gains, and they got to be careful of that seam route that goes right over the middle. And they got to be careful for the long ball.
Yeah, Washington's last two drives have been good. Just halted without some points.
So a snap here, they're going to hand it off. It's going to go right up the middle. It's not going to go much, and we've seen that. We've seen that all season long with not being able to run on the Watertown defense. So as the time goes from 5 seconds down to 0 seconds, we're going to enter the fourth quarter with your Watertown Arrows having a 26-21 lead. We'll take a timeout on the field. We'll also take a timeout on the booth. This timeout brought to you by Chicotaland Federal Credit Union.
Hi, this is Mike, and you're watching Watertown Arrow Football on Arrow TV.
Hi, this is Coach Hodorf, and you are watching Arrow Football on Arrow TV. Go Arrows!
I'm Jackson Follick, and you're watching Arrow Football on Arrow TV.
All right, Tyson, we are back, and I think what we noticed at the end of the third quarter as we entered the fourth quarter, the Arrow players were asking the Arrow fans to get behind them, and they did.
Yeah, and now it's got to hold the rest of the next 12 minutes here. You can't just do it at the quarter break when everyone's yelling at you. You got to do it the whole time. Definitely more of a defensive quarter there by both teams. Micah Hawk's yelling at him again to get going. But no, a defensive quarter there, really by both teams. Washington moved the ball well. It's just the Arrows' defense stood up when they needed to. It was kind of that bend but don't break philosophy that we
just took
talked
the words
about.
right out of my mouth. And then on the other side of that, we see Trayton Hemrick, 9-14, 200-plus yards, 4 touchdowns. We'll see if we can get them the ball back and then see if at that point they can lean on Juven to bleed this clock. But first they have to stop this mighty Washington Warriors offense. This time they're going to go split back, stay in the shotgun. They're going to get a false start. Yep, you're going to get a false start right away. And what that's going to do is it should bring this Arrow crowd back to life and keep them alive into the game, because anybody that knows anything about football knows that false start is more on the fans than it is anything
It should
else.
be, and Mike is the one that keeps looking over here yelling at the fans. He's just trying to get them to stay up.
Yes.
Not just cheer for 2 seconds, but really get after help get after this defense here.
Yeah, and you'll see the false start here right on the right tackle.
18-yard line.
Yep, and you see that. So 2nd and 14, 12 minutes left as you start the fourth quarter. 26-21 Arrows over Warriors. This time we're going to have a trips right.
Defense is a little bit backed up here.
We got a blitz coming off the end. It's going to screen right that direction. That's a good call. Screening right to the blitz, but a nice job by the Warriors,
Mr. Consistent.
by the Arrows picking that up.
Mr. Decker. I said always, not always flashy, but always in the right spot. Smells the rat, knows that something tricky's coming, the screenplay in the right spot, makes a good tackle.
Yeah, that's a good job by Decker because I feel like if he misses that tackle, it was set up pretty well to go a long way.
Yep. So now again, 3rd down. See if the defense backs up just a little bit, and you got to keep eyes on Hoffman. Because if he gets out of that pocket, he's trouble.
3rd and 10, got to come up with the stop here if you're the Arrows, and then you can lean on that run game and milk some of this clock. We'll see what they do. They got a lot of movement going on. The snap comes, and they're looking out in the flat. It's not there. He drops back and throws deep to a wide open number 3 for the Warriors. And he's finally taken down. And let me tell you what, we have seen a lot of impressive plays by that quarterback today. That quarterback by the Warriors. That was the best play he's made all game.
And he took an absolute shot.
Oh my goodness, he just got throttled. And he stood in there like a seasoned vet and delivered an absolute dime to Carter Ackerman.
That was a nice ball. Very nice ball.
On 3rd and 10 with the defender right in his face.
Again, you've bent. You cannot break here for the Arrows defense. They haven't scored yet.
Yeah, and we've seen them down here before, and we've seen the Arrows get a stop before, and they're going to hand off. And again, it's not going to go for much. But, man, I really wish that we could go back to that last play. I would love to see who the Arrow defender was that was barreling down on him. But
I think it was Micah Hawk that hit him.
Was it Hawk that hit him? It was, yeah, and here we go, and we see it, the separation and a good effort by the Arrow defender there, but just a phenomenal throw right over the defender with a guy right in his face.
Put it right in the old breadbasket.
Number 6 to the right here of number 9. Drops back to pass, looks over to his left. He's got his guy. He's going to make one guy miss, but not the other. Nice wrap-up tackle by number 22, Spencer
a lot
Winches.
of tackles tonight.
Yeah, Spencer's having a nice game. And we see this quick 5 and out, and it's really what I'm really hoping for is that one of those Arrow linebackers sniffs it out and reads it.
Can step in front of one.
Exactly.
I haven't seen any film where he's thrown a pick. I mean, he reads defenses really well on that quick game.
And he's efficient. We'll see what happens here. This time they're going to hand off. It's going to go right up the middle, and again, it's going for nothing. Nothing.
You got to expect him to go for it, right?
Yes.
Didn't kick a field goal before.
Yeah, well, and this time you're in the dirt, too. So if you do attempt a field goal, it makes it even more challenging kicking from the dirt versus the grass.
They're sending different packaging, but it looks like it's still the offensive package. So
it's going to be 4th and 4 with 9.5. Call it 9 minutes and 15 seconds roughly by the time that they kick or by the time they snap.
They might end up calling a timeout here.
Yeah, they're letting the clock go down and they're staying in their huddle. They're going to break huddle at that 9:15 mark. They're going to run up to the line with trips right, one running back to the right. Number 9 is shotgun. He's going to drop back a quick pass again out into that flat, and he is going to reach the end zone for a Warrior touchdown. And I think the crowd is silenced because we're not sure. We'll see on the replay brought to you by Dakota Land Federal Credit Union if he maintained possession. Number 2 races to the end zone. It looks like our camera may have fallen down there.
Yep.
Here's a better angle.
Ooh.
I think he did cross the line because you guys got to remember that white line is all the pylon's all encompassing, but all the football has to do is cross that white line. Once it crosses the white line,
he's in. Another goal for 2.
And then he goes down, and the same play just on the other side. This time it's dropped, so it's going to be a 1-point lead for the visiting Warriors. Exciting game here. 9 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Warriors clinging on to a 1-point lead. But again, we're seeing these 5 and outs that are being awfully successful for the Warrior quarterback, Thomas Hoffman.
What a big play, though, for Washington on that 4th and 4. I mean, you missed that one. The momentum really swings out of your favor here. This is by far the best game we've had all year, Sam.
Yeah, it really is. And we talked about this today at work. You know, that this is kind of what we were hoping for.
Get one down to the wire.
And it appears that's what we're going to get. 27-26. Official time on the scoreboard is 9 minutes. Washington's going to kick off to the Arrows. The Arrows have been able to move the ball. They've been moving the ball through the air as Juven Hudson has got, where's our Juven stats? Juven's got 86 yards rushing on 19 carries. He's got a long of 33. So outside of that 33-yard run, Washington has done a really good job of stifling the all-world running back.
Yeah, they've really limited him to one big play. Hoping he can get one or two more here on this drive.
So speaking of Juven, he's going to be the deep man. You got Lincoln Scott back there as well, along with, I believe that's 42, his running mate. And for the Arrows, that's going to be Aaron Fishback.
I was thinking the Arrows might put him in the middle one of these times just so he can pick it up.
So now Fishback and Scott moves way forward as he comes back to about the 25. Juven's back there to kick deep, or to return the deep ball. I'm not sure it's going to get that far, and it's not. It's going to go right up the middle. That looks like, is that Sparts? I believe that is Sparts, and he does a nice job there. He takes the ball all the way up to the 45.
He's one of the regular return men, so.
Yeah, he knows exactly what he's doing there. So that ball was kicked right to him, right in between the numbers. Sparts does a good job, catches it cleanly, and runs up for about a 10-yard gain. So it's going to be the Arrows ball, 1st and 10 at about the 45-yard line, with just under 9 minutes left, chasing 1 point.
You know, I say you get 1 first down here, and you're basically in 4-down territory everywhere you're at. If you don't get it here, you might still want to punt, but once they get 1, they're at 4-down territory.
Highlight Riley Fisher, the Arrows kicker. He's got a big leg. Sweep left to Juven, who's going to cut up the middle, and he's going to pick up about 4. I got to give props here to the Washington defense that they are doing a good job of bottling Juven up.
We've talked about them. It's not that they have like the big flash names that I always saw, but they're just so solid as a unit. They're fast, they run hard, they tackle well. They've been probably the most sound defensive group we've seen all year.
Oh, I agree.
And then I said it's not one guy. It's the whole bunch that's been flying the ball all night and has been making big impacts on the game.
Typically, you call the same guy's name over and over and over. We just really haven't done that. I mean, we've called 50's name quite a couple times, but just a great unit in general. As Hemrick drops back to pass, he's looking. Oh, he had Mitch Olsen, and he got out of the play. He comes back to Mitch, but it's well underthrown as he takes a big hit.
Tackle.
He takes a big hit, but Mitch Olsen was just
in
blazing down. Yes, blazing down the middle of the field, wide open.
I mean, hats off to him for not getting sacked.
I thought he was down.
I did too. Here we're gonna see.
Yeah, replay is going to be brought to you by Dakota Land Federal Credit Union, and we're going to see the tail end of it there with Mitch having a hard time coming back to the ball. As we see great camera work there, and we say hello to Arrows player number 30, Malik Decker.
God, they have 12 in the huddle there?
No penalty called, so they did not. So we're going to have 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, passing formation. Hendrick drops back, doesn't have anything. He's going to get swallowed up as he tries to step up in the pocket. Sacked by Sioux Falls, Washington Warriors.
Huge play for Washington.
Yeah, on 3rd and 6, it brings up a 4th and 10, and we're going to see a line break, a line change.
Momentum's all back in your favor now, getting the ball. Probably not going to be able to quite run out that clock with 8 minutes to go on it yet, but.
No, the Arrows should be able to get the ball back. They should have another drive in all likelihood.
Got timeouts still.
They still got, they got 2 timeouts, excuse me. See if we can pin him back deep here with a good Spencer Wenches punt. Wenches receives the punt, and he's going to roll out, and he's going to kick. It's a not bad punt. Good coverage by Sparks. He's going to be right there to break it up. Going to get a good, decent arrow bounce. It's going to take it real close to the 25. So Arrows trailing by 1, just over 7 minutes left. How do you stop the methodical offense of the Washington Warriors?
It's easy for me to say keep them in front of you, right? I mean, that's easier said than done. Watertown's been loaded up in the box all night to stop this efficient run game. What's been the tough part then is they've left all their guys kind of in one-on-one situations, and Washington's done a great job of taking advantage of it for good parts tonight here.
Yeah, Washington's got 350 yards passing. Quarterback's got 50 yards rushing, and he's just having a sensational game.
Bisker's coming off the edge.
Looks like Watertown's trying to bring a little bit of pressure.
Got a false start.
Going to get a false start on the Warriors. That on number 2.
Yep.
Before the snap, false start on the offense. Number 2, it's a 5-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
So false start on Washington, number 2. That's going to be Jacob Cruz. 5'9", 160-pound senior wide receiver. So it'll bring Washington back to the 11. It's going to be 1st and 15. Arrow's defense is in good shape here. They really need to hold. They really need to get the ball back. And again, Hauk is asking for.
He's pleading for this crowd to get loud.
He's just begging for the crowd to get loud and stay loud. So Washington's going to go this time, trips to the top formation on the left side. Snap comes in. He's going to bootleg out to his right. Uh-oh. He's got 18. He's going to streak down the sideline. Sparks makes a tackle. There is a flag on the play.
Holding again. Either that or lineman was downfield.
Yeah, it looks like they're pointing towards Washington.
Gosh, it's going to be like 1st and 25 here.
This is a Sioux Falls crew, a Sioux Falls reffing crew, led by Jaybird. And wait for the call, see what comes in. Looks like it's got to be on Washington. Washington's already walking back.
An eligible man downfield on the offense, number 54. 5-yard penalty, replay 1st down.
So talk to us about an ineligible receiver downfield.
Well, I thought that slot receiver was blocking, so I thought it was a run play. The lineman thought the same thing I did, so when you go outside of that first 2 yards, yeah, the lineman can't be downfield on a pass play. And like I said, I saw it, but I thought he was going to take off and run. But the slot receiver was blocking right away.
Right, now if he takes off and runs, then
you cannot throw the ball.
Right, you cannot throw the ball, then the ineligible receiver downfield means nothing.
Right.
So again, your Arrow defensive captains, Hauk, Caden Beauchamp, Spencer Wenches, begging the Watertown crowd to get on your feet.
Now you got it.
Stand up here and make it loud and make it tough here on a 1st and 20.
You got to keep these receivers in front of you now.
Trips right, drops back to pass. He's looking over the middle. Now he's going deep down the left sideline where he had a man, but just over the head of number 18 for Washington, and that's the guy we've called his name a lot, Jace Woods.
Yeah, I think this Arrow secondary needs to take a couple steps back. I mean, they're going to do this 2 more plays right now. You got to stay on top of them. They're just kind of running by him right now.
There's separation of about 2 yards between the receiver and the defender there, and thankfully the ball was just a little overthrown. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 20. 6 minutes, 58 seconds left for the Arrows.
Going to need Beauchamp to get some pressure here, get that ball out a little bit quicker. Don't make these corners have to guard for so long.
Sparks is about 10 yards off the defender on the right side as they hand off on this side, and he's going to be bottled up again. I'm telling you, it's incredibly difficult to run on this Watertown, on this Watertown defense. And there you see Jace Woods real quick. 6 catches, 143 yards, and a tutty. Not bad for that young man. Not a bad day.
And he's, they've missed him on a couple.
Yes. I mean, he could have had bigger.
He'd have over 200 yards tonight.
Yeah. So this is going to bring up a 3rd and 19. At this point, you cannot let anything behind you on the sticks. You play a sticks defense. Understand where the sticks are at, and don't let anybody behind you.
They're more of a cover 4 look here. They're going to be deep.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind taking a few steps deeper.
Trips left. Empty backfield. Back in shotgun formation. He's going to scroll out this side.
Nobody's there.
He's got nobody there. It's going to be a 4th down. And number 18 for Washington shows his frustration here, Jace Woods. And but it's going to be 4th down, and the punt team is going to come out.
Well, Watertown almost blocked a punt a couple weeks ago, and we haven't mentioned the special teams tonight with how good they've been. So I think they're due.
I hate to keep going back to the well, but the quarterback, number 9, Tommy Hoffman, is standing in that pocket and just really taking some shots and delivering some shots himself.
He's done a really good job all night.
Yeah, he's had a good game. So Sparks is going to take it at about the 35. He's going to make a guy miss. He's going to get over to the sideline. He's got great field position for the Arrows with just under 6 minutes left.
Yeah, that low line drive punt, it did not give the Washington defense much time to set up to make a tackle.
Nope. But Sparks does a really nice job of getting it and then knowing exactly what to do with it and when to do with it. I'd like to see him get that ball into his outer hand. He had the ball on the inside. If you put it on the outside, if you put that on the inside and there's a fumble, at least that way the ball can get out of bounds and you can protect it.
Well, here we go, Sam. We asked for a close one. I think we're getting our money's worth tonight.
Well, let's see. The Arrows are definitely in. They're right inside field goal range. It's going to be close to pick up a few, and they do that. So Hudson's going to bring them down to about the 15. And at this point, they are in field goal range for the Arrows.
Yeah,
kicker.
but Yeah, you know what's in the back of Coach Hordorf's mind? They missed an extra point tonight. They didn't go for it a different time.
Yep.
You need to score, go for 2 here, and give yourself a nice lead. You know there's going to be enough time for the Warriors to go down and score after this. There's too much time on the clock. They get all 3 timeouts.
Yep.
So you got to get a touchdown on the board here.
If you're the Arrows, a perfect scenario here, obviously you got to score, but if you can score and take a couple minutes off of this clock, that's even better.
Yep.
So the Arrows are going to go in their big formation, traditional I. This is typically Juven left or Juven right.
Oh, man.
This time he goes left. Good job of staying on his feet. It shows good balance by that young man to stay on his feet there and pick up a couple yards.
Well, we got a headlight on, some headlights on the end zone. Let's see if we got to stop here.
Yeah, turn those headlights off, folks.
Oh, they're off.
There you go. All right, so this is going to bring up a massive 3rd down and 4 yards to go with just under 5 minutes left as the clock ticks to about the 4:45 mark. And the Arrows desperately need to pick up this 1st down.
I expect another run play, Sam. I wouldn't be shocked if they went for it twice in a row here like they did in the first quarter.
I'd love to see a bootleg out on that naked side, but they're going to give it to Juven. Juven's going to go right.
He's very close.
He's right at the sticks.
They're going to get the measure, I think, from here.
Well, the official appeared to signal 4th down.
Stop by number 44 for the Sioux Falls Washington High Warriors.
Well, you got to go for it here. Oh, they're going to measure.
Yeah, we're going to get a measurement, which is good because this is going to give Coach Hordorf a few more seconds, a minute or so, to try to make the decision. Okay, so now you're the head coach of the Watertown Arrows. Didn't even have to finish it.
We're going for it. We went for it in the first quarter. You're going for it in the 4th quarter.
And you know why you go for it here? You go for it because you trust your offensive line, and you have arguably the best running back in the state.
I mean, fundamentally. Oh, hold on. It's a 1st down.
Oh, we got a 1st down, and the crowd goes nuts. Hats are getting thrown in the air. Everybody stands up in unison at one time.
Now you're on the 8-yard line.
You know what? And now you don't have to make a decision. The only decision is how you're going to get in the end zone.
So now it's on the 6. So I might just tell you the game plan here, Sam. If I'm Coach Hordorf, it's number 8 4 times, whichever way you want to give it to him, running the ball. But I think he needs to touch that at least 4 times on these next 4 plays if it takes that long.
Yeah, they're going to stay in that traditional I formation. This time they're going to go Juven. He's going to go off the left side. And you know what?
Let that clock burn.
Yeah, absolutely. That's not a terrible thing. He's going to pick up a couple of yards, and the clock is going to continue to tick-tock.
Washington's going to have time. They might not be able to do their bread and butter, run game, but their quick game, they're going to have plenty of time. But, yeah, you definitely like to see some of that clock keep trickling off.
Yeah, so it's going to be 2nd and goal at the 4-yard line. The Arrows are going to take their time. They're going to take their time breaking huddle, which they just do. They're going to take their time getting to the line of scrimmage. They're going to go back to the I formation. They're going to hand off to Juven, and Juven's going to go to the right side.
It's a touchdown!
He's going to fumble the ball, but the Arrows are going to jump on top of it, and it's going to be a touchdown, Arrows. All I saw was the ball just sitting there in the end zone all by itself, and I think it was that Micah Hawk that's jumped on top of it.
It should have been.
If he did, he swallowed the ball and deflated it.
Yeah. My heart sunk a little bit. I saw that ball pop out, but then I think it was Big Micah Hawk just jumped right off.
I'm dying to see the replay. And here it is, brought to you by Dakota Land Federal Credit Union. So we're going to see Juven get the ball here. Juven gets the ball, and it gets knocked out, and it scrambles away.
I think it's Jaden Lambert.
Is it Lambert that jumps on top of it? Here's a better replay. Better angle. That's number 65, Jaden Lambert. And on top of that, they're going for 2. They're going to hand off to Juven, and Juven's going to go right up the middle, and he's going to go in for a 2-point conversion. Real fast. Holy smokes, does the Arrow TV have the best camera people on the planet. The one angle, you couldn't see it, but the second one from behind, you can.
Don't tell this crowd to get loud anymore. They're into it.
I don't know who's happier, the Arrow crowd or me, because of the great camera work.
Jaden Lambert's the happiest person in the zip code right now.
Jaden Lambert, that is a good job, young man, because he had split defenders on each side of him, and the big man squeaks through there, lands on top of it, and gets himself 6 on homecoming.
A lot of people are not going to talk about him tomorrow. His name's probably not going to be in the paper. Not very often throughout his whole career being an offensive lineman. He might have just saved homecoming for the Watertown Arrows.
Well, I don't know about you, but the goosebumps are high. The hair on the arms is raised. We've got 3 minutes and 32 seconds left.
Plenty
in a
of time.
7-point game.
We might. I don't even want to say it, but at this rate, it's trending towards some free football, which is always fun. But
I don't know if the old heart can take free football at this point.
3.5 minutes, I think, is enough for me.
The ticker isn't what it used to be.
There it is. Jaden Lambert's got his name up on the board.
Look at Jaden Lambert. 2 sacks, a forced fumble, not 1, but 2 fumble recoveries, and a big touchdown for that big young man.
With a stat line like that, you will get your name in the paper a few times.
Absolutely they will. Hodorf is really getting after it. He's getting everybody pumped. Everybody's excited. Getting after Wenches, getting him back, getting his head in the game, getting focused. We can see the fans are really after it. Let's see if the Arrows can close it out here with 3.5 minutes left. Kick is underway. Stay in bounds. Stay in bounds. It is not. That is not a good way to start this potential game-winning drive. So the ball's going to go out of the bounds. It's going to go out of bounds, so which means that Washington is going to take over. Is that 35 in high school, or is it all the way up to 40?
We're going to see if they're going to like to re-kick.
35. Yeah, it's going to be the 35.
It looks like they're going to take it.
Free kick out of bounds with the kicking team. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down, Washington.
All right, so here we are. 3.5 minutes left. 1st and 10 for Washington. They're going to get the ball on the 35-yard line. Trayton Hemrick, our captain quarterback, is getting the Arrow fans on their feet.
All right, now we can't give back the momentum. Stay back.
Drops back to pass. He's got time. He looks right. He looks left, and he gets sacked. It's a sack by your Arrows defense, and it's a big sack.
Micah Hawk.
And it's Micah Hawk.
He's had more juice in his veins tonight than anybody.
All right, let's take a second and respect the young man here, because the young man he's down here.
Is that the quarterback?
That is the quarterback. That's number 9 for Washington.
It is.
That's Thomas Hoffman. So let's respect him while he's down. Let's take a second and get some water, catch our composure here, and take a break. Brought to you by Dakota Land Federal Credit Union. Classy gesture by the Arrows fans as we come back here, giving Hoffman a standing ovation.
So you know he's got to take one play off unless they're going to call a timeout.
Yeah, so it's going to bring 2nd and 18, and yes, you're absolutely right. He has to take a play out unless they're going to call a timeout. Washington's got 3 timeouts left, and the head official just wait for the clock to go, so the clock is ticking.
I know nothing about the backup quarterback, but this is when you watch that, either that screen play or a quarterback roll out and take off and run.
Backup quarterback is number 15. I'm not even going to try. He's 5'10". He's a sophomore.
Different cadence, different quarterback, leads to some troubles.
Yep, it's going to be a false start on the Warriors, which is going to bring up a 2nd and
Before
20.
the snap, false start of the offense, number 58.
Well, now he
5-yard penalty, replay 2nd down.
Now the Arrow crowd is back into it, staying in it. Now
I wanted to see the other quarterback for one play. Now Hoffman's back in.
Yeah, after the.
No, they're not. It has not been a play.
Because that's not officially a play. He's got to run it down. So Jaybird's going to send him back to the. He's going to send him back to the sideline.
Because number 9 was injured on the previous play, he has to stay off for one more play.
And he does a great job of announcing to the crowd of exactly what is happening. He said because number 9 was injured, he's got to stay out for a play. The false start is not a play.
Again, you got to be ready for something a little tricky here.
Okay,
Quarterback's not used to being in the game. Is it a screen play? Are they going to roll out? You're not going to expect him to run it right now. I don't think.
No, well, but I mean, can he pass? He's a sophomore quarterback. I mean, how good is his arm? Is he warmed up?
That's the question. It's how loose is he?
So they're going to go shotgun, 2 top, 2 bottom, running back to his left. He's going to drop back, and he is going to pass. And it's going to be the same play that we've seen, just with a different quarterback. They're going to keep him in bounds, which is important.
Is their quarterback going to make a switch here? It looks like, yep.
Yeah, and they're going to bring back Tommy Hoffman, number 9.
3rd and 15 here?
He's going to bring up a 3rd and 15.
15. 3rd down and 5.
Again, keep everybody in front of you.
3rd down and 15.
So it is going to be a 3rd down and 15. The important thing here is that the Arrows tackle them inbounds, so the clock is going to continue. Royalty comes in front of us and gets everybody up. 2 minutes here. 2 receivers top, 2 receivers at the bottom. We've seen this formation. You could go seam or they could go 5 and out. They're going deep, and it's the same ball over the middle, and it's dropped right through the hands of number 18. But this time, Owen Smart's on fantastic coverage.
That was the best coverage seen all night, but that was a really good thrown ball, and it just went through his hands, but that was a good throw.
I think if you're number 18, we've called his name a lot, Jace Woods, when he watches this, you'd like that one back. That's a tough play, though.
Yeah, that was a tough throw and catch, but about as good as a quarterback can put it when you got Micah Hoff coming right down your throat.
Absolutely. So setting the scene here, there's 1 minute and 56 seconds left. It's 4th and 15. The Arrows are up by 7. However, if they get a turnover here, the game is not over yet.
Right.
Because Washington has all 3 of their timeouts.
Micah Hawk is getting stronger every play, and I expect him to get through right now.
So they're going to drop back here. He's got some time to throw. He's looking deep again.
Beauchamp!
Beauchamp barreling down on him! And it's not just Beauchamp, it's your other captain. That is who got the sack with him.
Number 9?
That's number 9, Austin Johnson back.
He's back.
Caden Beauchamp and Austin Johnson, they decide, you know what, we need to date. Where are we dating? We're dating at the quarterback on 4th down.
Huge play for the Arrows.
Big time.
I don't know if this is technically field goal range here. Just about can put the nail in the coffin here.
Okay, so it's going to be 1st and 10 with 1 minute and 48 left. The Arrows are going to have the ball in the 17. It's going to be Juven.
Yeah, and stay locked into the cause here. Keep both hands on the ball.
Got to stay focused.
Nothing crazy.
Best thing they got to do is, yes, exactly what you said, is they got to keep both hands on the ball. Ball security, you got to have it.
Stay in that A and B gap and just fight for every yard you can get. But
so back to the traditional I formation. Wench is up the fullback here, and Juven's going to do exactly what we thought. He's going to go up the middle. He's going to get a couple yards. He's going to fall forward, and immediate timeout by Washington.
Tackle by number 52 for the Warriors.
Well, we asked for a close game, Sam.
Well, you know what? I feel like I need to apologize to everybody in front of us because they're all turning around and looking at us because you're screaming.
Yeah, it's just me up here. It echoes in this small box that we're in.
Yeah, it really does. So it's going to be a timeout by Washington. There's going to be 1 minute and 44 left. So everybody on the planet knows what's coming. Washington is going to try to strip the ball. He's going to try to rip the ball out of Juven's hands. Juven is, all he's trying to do is get a couple yards each time. Ball security, wind down the clock, and let's see if we can get into a victory formation on homecoming and take this one home.
Yeah, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if we got 2 or 3 yards each of the next 2 plays. And then the question is going to be, will you go for it on 4th and 1, 4th and 2? I mean, obviously not going to punt it. I don't know how good the field goal team ever is. It's always a kind of a wild card in high school football.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, what I can tell you that I have seen Riley Fisher kick about 40, 45-yard field goals fairly consistently. He's got a big leg. He's a big-time soccer player, and typically a big-time soccer player equates to a good field goal.
It's always in the back of your mind if that thing gets blocked, taken the other way is your worst fear. But hopefully not come to that. We'll see if we can get 8 more yards.
2nd and 8 at the 16. I formation again. Handoff. Juven's going to go left. He's going to go outside a little bit.
That's a touch.
He's going to get in there. Oh, no. Okay, so he's going to get tackled. There's going to be multiple flags that are going to come. As it sits right now, it's 1st and goal at the 1. We'll see what the flags are.
You know, the flag did come downfield, so even though it's a hold, it's not going to be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the ball.
Sure.
It'll be 5 yards downfield, so it'll be like 2nd and 13, I would think. Yeah, they keep moving that flag up too. Looks like from there, the 22. Yeah, it'll be 2nd and 12.
Okay.
Not the end of the world.
No, we'll go to the official here. We'll see what he has to say. Multiple flags thrown on that. Clear holding.
During the run, illegal block in the back of the offense, number 65. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay 2nd down. Clock operator, please put 1:37 on the game clock. The clock will start on a snap.
So we went from holding to blocking the back. Regardless, it's a 10-yard penalty. It's going to bring up a 2nd and, did he say 12?
I think it's
more than that, isn't it?
3. Oh, it's 2 or 2nd, 12 or 13.
Regardless.
No, it's only 2nd.
It's 2nd and 8.
God, it was farther downfield than I thought. Even better.
2nd and 8.
So all happened, you knocked 6 seconds off the clock.
So a handoff to Juven
Ball
again,
Lambert.
Same play. Stay in bounds, young man. Stay in bounds.
Uh-oh.
He gets out of bounds.
He's only got a yard or 2 to go, I hope.
It's going to bring up a 3rd and short.
3rd and 3.
But the big news on that is
clock
that
stops.
the clock stopped. And you see it on Sundays, guys. You see it that the players will slide and try to do their best to stay in bounds. And that particular time, Juven was not able to stay in bounds, so it does stop the clock and it does hold the timeout for
It will not matter if they get a first down here.
No, and Juvin goes to the right. He gets met up immediately by 4 Warriors.
Gosh, I think you kick a field goal here, but I don't know much about the field goal team, Sam.
I think, I'm telling you, I have seen Riley Fisher kick field goals before, and Riley Fisher can make this field
Timeout
goal.
Washington. That's their second of the half.
So, but it brings a decision to Hodorf.
It is a long 4th down.
It's a 4th and 3 from the 11-yard line. So we talked about it last week. If the ball's on the 11, it's a 28-yard field goal.
You know, you're in the middle of the field here.
You're kicking. You're not in the dirt like you are on the other side.
Right.
So you got a 28-yard field goal if they elect to do that.
As of right now, the offense is still out there.
Now, if you get a first down, the game's over.
Yes.
If you kick a field goal and make it, the game's over.
Essentially, yep.
Yep. So you can do one of 2 things, and as long as you execute one of those 2 things, there's going to be a parade downtown.
Right. Gosh, it's a long 4th down. I don't think you can just do your bread and butter pound the ball here. That's why I almost think they're going to go the field goal route. I expect to come out here, get a hard count for 2 down, or hot. They don't move, call timeout, send the field goal unit out. That's just my guess right now.
I mean, that's what we would see on Sunday. I mean, we would definitely see that.
We'll see if these high school kids are gonna hold their water. You know, Watertown might go for it.
Well, we'll see what they do here. Got big Micah Hawk in there. I'm guessing they're going to run behind him, and that's exactly what they do. They run behind Micah Hawk, and I think they're going to be short.
Yep, they are.
Yep, they're going to be short. So let's set the stage. There's 1 minute and 22 seconds left. The ball is going to be at about the 10-yard line, so you got 90 yards to go.
With a timeout.
With 1 timeout left and a quarterback who is absolutely on fire with 349 yards passing and 3 touchdowns.
Well, we've seen they don't need much time. I mean, they throw the ball down the field in a hurry. Watertown's got to stay back here a little bit. Keep everything in front of you.
All right, let's see what happens here. Watertown's defense.
This is the deepest they've played all night, so that's a start. See if we can get to the quarterback.
Drop backs the pass. He takes that out route, and he's going to get out of bounds for a first down. And again, here you pick up 12, 13 yards. 4 or 5 seconds come off the clock. What's really important here for the Arrows is not necessarily to break a pass up, but keep them in bounds.
Right.
Tackle them in bounds. That timeout has got to go before the ball crosses the 50-yard line.
You know, you're still a long ways down the field. You're hoping for a mistake, but to keep that ball in front of you is more important right now.
Yep, trips right, looking that way. Long throw across the field, and it's connected to a wide-open receiver and pushed out of bounds again.
Man, that was a long throw across the field.
He's on the far hash, and he throws all the way over to the other side of the field.
Right.
And he has the open receiver. The Arrows have got to tighten up those flats and those sidelines.
Simon Hendricks is in.
Simon Hendricks enters the game.
Oh, Micah needed to win quick. Jaden Lambert's back in at nose tackle here.
Wenches is in. Simon Hendricks in the game for the first
Austin
time
Johnson's
tonight.
coming.
Austin Johnson rushing on that side.
Hit him.
And he's looking right at him. He's got him in his sights. Great play by the quarterback to evade him. Throws deep to a wide open number 2. And he's tackled at about the 38-yard line.
That clock will start running once the chains and ball are set here.
Washington's offense running to the ball. Arrows defense trying to get set. Big number 65, Jaden Lambert, trying to get on the other side of it. Hoffman generally in his players in position.
What a play by Hoffman to get out of that sack.
Trips right this time. Shotgun. Ball snapped with 45 seconds left. Scanning. He's got all day. He's He's looking deep. He fires deep over the middle. He's got a guy there, and it is dropped in the end zone by number 18.
Man, that ball bounced like 4 times.
Tyson, I don't know if I was breathing the entire time.
I'll tell you this, that last play that Hoffman got out of that sack, wow. Because Austin Johnson had him dead to rights.
Austin Johnson did have him dead to rights.
And now his best receiver,
that's a great
Chase
ball.
Woods, is down.
I wonder if he's cramped maybe.
He did land a little awkwardly there. He's going to want to be back in there, but now he's going to have to come out for a play because they're not going to waste their last time.
Look at this.
Yeah, it hit him in the hands too.
It hit him right in the hands. Just an excellent pass. from Tommy Hoffman. I'm telling you what, man, this Hoffman did not. Good to see the young man walking off the field without much assistance, without any assistance. So
he'll be back. He'll be back in one play. The problem is with that no huddle. Once you sub in, now you give the Arrows a chance to sub in.
Obviously, we're in 4-down territory here. 2nd and 10 on the 39-yard line with 34 seconds left. The Arrows are up by 7.
That pass rush got to get home.
Trying to hang on. Hoffman's going to drop back. He's looking right. He's going to the sideline. He's got an interception. Owen Sparks. Owen Sparks with the spark.
He's going to take it all the way back.
He's going to go down to the 20. He's going to come back inside to the 10, the 5. Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. Touchdown, Arrows.
That's going to put a bow on it, Sam.
That will put a bow on it, put it to bed. Arrows 3-1 on the season.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
A fantastic play by number 35, Owen Sparks, and that's called senior leadership.
And that's where you're okay with some of those out passes. You kept everything in front of you. You waited for a team to maybe make one mistake, and then you capitalize on it.
Timeout, we got a flag.
Probably a celebration, or too many guys in the field.
I can live with excessive celebration.
Yeah, Hodorf.
Waited for the official to make the announcement.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown for Washington. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on Washington, number 54. That penalty would be a 15-yard penalty enforced with the kickoff. Extra point here.
He said Washington, but he meant Watertown.
Yeah, he said Washington twice. He meant Watertown, and he was pointing in the Watertown Arrows direction. I don't believe that Coach Hordorf is going to be super happy about that, but what he's going to be really happy about is his senior leader, Sparks.
So let me just remind you this, Sam. First half, 21 points. Second half, Arrows defense really settles in, bows their backs on 3 different big drives and gets turnovers. Gives up 6 points in the second half, and by far that's the difference in this ball game.
So we'll see what happens here with the Arrows as they, as they line up for the extra point, trying to make it 41-27. Snap is up, kick is up, and the kick is good. I'm telling you, that young man can kick. 16 seconds to go. Your Watertown Arrows up 41-27 over the AAA Sioux Falls Washington Warriors.
Sam, I don't know. You know more about Watertown high school football than I do. When's the last time Watertown Arrows beat Washington in football?
You know, I don't have that stat. Excuse me, I don't have that stat right in front of me. What I do know and what I do have in front of me is a very good football team.
Yes.
That coming into the season, they had some talk and some chatter about them, and after a tough loss to Yankton last week, after a tough loss to Yankton last week, they come back on homecoming and beat a fantastic Sioux Falls Washington Warriors football team.
And the adjustments at halftime made is what really settled this down. I mean, you kept guys in front of you. The times they did get behind you, luckily, a couple passes were dropped, but really this defense got after on some of those deep passes. Quarterbacks under pressure. Some turnovers were forced. Even at the end, you were giving up long 10-yard out routes for first downs. You just had this better feeling. Everything was kept in front of you. You can rally to it, and you just wait for a team maybe to make one mistake. The penalty was on Washington, even though he pointed the wrong direction.
Yeah, he pointed in the right direction, but said the wrong team.
He pointed this way.
Yeah, he pointed towards us. The penalty was on us.
No, it's on Washington. We're kicking up here.
It was on Washington.
Yeah.
But yeah, he pointed towards us and said Washington.
Yeah, he said Washington scored, and he said it. So I just thought he meant Watertown.
Huh.
But
well, we'll have to see what that's like on tape.
The hometown fans are fired up here, the student section especially.
Yeah, and we're fired up in the booth. It's been a lot of fun calling this game. I think I'll pay for it tomorrow as the kick goes out of the back of the end zone. I think I'm going to run downstairs and see if I can get an interview with Coach Hodorf. So, Tyson, I'll leave it up to you to finish off the 16 seconds. I'll see if I can get Hodorf, and we'll come back.
While we recap these last 16 seconds here, just going to say again, what a fantastic game by the Washington Warriors and the Watertown Arrows. An amazing first half, a very competitive second half. As Washington drops back to throw here, nobody's quite looking. 8 seconds to go here in the ball game. Again, Washington's got a lot to be proud of, hang their hat on. They've played an excellent ball game. Had a few opportunities slip away in that second quarter. Had a few drop passes, but overall an excellent football game here tonight. Washington's getting a new football in here, it looks like. As Washington lines up here for what definitely could be their last play of the game. I'm not sure who they got next week, but they're going to have a good season here ahead of them. Very talented football team, very well-rounded, deep, talented football team. As Watertown brings a blitz, tries to get home on Hoffman. He's going to throw up one last pass as the clock hits 0. It is caught by number 2, but the night belongs to the Watertown Arrows. And that's all she wrote, folks. We'll give it a minute here. We'll see if Sam catch up with the head coach. We thank you guys for tuning in with us.
A couple other scores around the area. We got Sioux Falls, Lincoln, a final over Harrisburg, 35-20.
Lincoln beats Harrisburg, it sounds like I just heard. Stevens lost.
Jefferson, with 3 minutes left in the third, is up 41-0 over Rapid City Central.
And Jefferson's about to beat Rapid City Central.
Brandon Valley, 14-0 over Sioux Falls, Roosevelt.
Again, congratulations to both teams. A very hard-fought battle, a very competitive game. I am going to look at that student section down there on the field. They are fired up. I think every student at Watertown High School looks like about is down there on that football field. At least everyone that was here tonight. And here those Arrows players come to greet their home fans. What a sight. That's what homecoming's all about right there, folks. Those kids. And they earned it tonight. They might just have the dance right there on the football field. Hodorf's not going to get to talk to his guys for a while. They're going to be a few hugs and handshakes handed out here for a little bit. We will see if we can get down there to Sam Mooney and Mr. Hodorf.
Testing. Okay, we are on the field with Coach Hodorf after an exhilarating 2023 homecoming victory for your Watertown Arrows. Telling me about that interception, that pick 6 by Sparks.
That was a great play by Owen. He read the ball real nice. He got right where he wanted to, and he took it to the house. It was just a great effort on his part getting to the end zone.
Coach, you gave up 21 points in the first half. You gave up 6 in the second half. What adjustment did you make?
We just struggled a little bit with some coverage things. We really never gave up a ton of yards or anything. We just gave up about 3 or 4 big plays. And when we can get better and not give up the 30-yard plays, we're a pretty good football team.
What's it mean to you to sit on the field, watch your players like this, watch your community, your fans? How great is this for your program?
This is awesome. It's a great end to a homecoming week. We're really excited about it. We're going to go learn from this film, and we're going to move on because we got Pier next week.
All right, thanks, Coach Hodorf. Congratulations on the win. Go Arrows.
Thank you.
Again, a 41-27 win here by the Arrows on homecoming. Thanks for everyone that came out. What a heck of a game here. We'll see you in a couple weeks for Watertown's last home game, unless they hopefully get a playoff game. But Arrow TV is out. Thanks, guys, and go Arrows.